Not y'all can see the bed. Okay. When your days and your nights, when your days and your nights. I know that you. There we go. Okay. Hey everybody, how are y'all doing today? How's everyone doing? How's everyone's night? How's your weekend been going? Hope everyone has been having a productive Saturday. Is today Saturday? Yeah. Yeah, today is Saturday. Did y'all know that today is the 30th? Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. I can't. I didn't realize that New Year's Eve was tomorrow. I can't. I see it. Baby, I never know when retrograde is. I never know when the moon is in Gatorade. Hey, Catherine and Chantel, Andreas, Dev. You know, Christmas was good. Hey, Blake. Christmas was good. Under the table? What you mean under the table? What you mean under the table? What you trying to say? What that mean? Thank you for the rose. Listen, when I got my haircut, I felt so good. I was like, we are killing the game. Eating the grapes under a table is tradition. I don't feel like that's true. I feel like y'all are gaslighting me. I feel like y'all gaslight me. I don't think that's real. Bring love in the new year. 12 grapes at midnight. I don't think that's real. I think y'all joking. I really do not think that's real. That sounds suspicious. Under the table? Not Andreas said he finna be under the table. Hey, nostalgic and dope seek. I'm gonna take y'all's word for it that it's a tradition. I don't believe it. I ain't never heard that day in my life. Yep. I lost a grape. What is this? Anyway, okay, y'all. So, I tried to come up with a topic for tonight. I really did. I really tried to come up with a topic. I don't know what y'all want to talk about. Because I thought, like, listen, we got this fresh cut. I said, okay. This today I need a boo to have to send it to, but I don't have one, so. So I just put it on Twitter and Instagram. And people liked it and moved on. Anyway. So, a couple of quick little housekeeping things. Number one, I think that we're gonna have to move up the time of these lives because, baby, there is no way I can keep doing this at 9 o'clock because I'll be so tired. So I think we're gonna start doing it at 7:30 on Saturdays as well because 9 o'clock is a little late for me. So to get started, I feel like Dev Lewis, or Louis, I'm not sure how to say it, said you mentioned Paige's power not being a walk in and blow like Prue's, and I was wondering how so. I feel like the answer to that question is that Prue would just come in flinging. It's a different kind of power to it. Like, Prue would come in and just boop, and you just going flying. Paige could throw people with her hand, but she didn't do it that often. So it's like hers is more of a I'm walking into the room, you got something I want, let me call for it type situation. You know what I mean? Yeah, seven sounds a lot better because baby, I'm just gonna block not your dad's routine because how do you why are you saying why is this still relevant but then you know the exact time frame that it came on? That's weird. That's very strange to me. Okay, so we've all agreed that 7:30. We moving it to 7:30s on Saturdays. So we're gonna have it at 7:30 on Tuesdays, and we're gonna have it at 7:30 on Saturdays. Okay, so we're all in agreement. Okay, I'm here for it. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. So, second thing, and I'm just gonna throw this out there real quick because I don't know. I'm nervous to say it because I put it on Patreon, but I am going to start a very low tier on Patreon, just like $1. You don't have to, if you don't want to or you can't. It's just $1. Not just. I don't mean to say that like I'm entitled to your money. It is $1. And it's basically just like a little support tier. You get to it's basically just like a support tier because y'all, by the time I get done buying stuff, like the time that I spend making videos and stuff, I just feel like okay. I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then I did a little poll here on TikTok and people were like, yes, you should. And I said, okay, I am going to do that. So really the Patreon is gonna be for like early access to the Ratchet Charm videos, which I'm gonna try to do more often. And no, I'm not gonna try, I'm going to do them more often. And then girl, it was something else, but I don't remember what it was. It's on there. Like, it's on there. Like, if you subscribe to the Patreon, it's on there. And there you can still subscribe for free. So it's not like you have to buy, have to pay it. Like, you don't have to pay it to join it. You can still, like, see what I post, things like that. It's just when I post, like, a video early, that'll be for the people who are giving me the $1 every month. So I was really nervous to do that because I didn't want people to feel like, oh, now he asking for money. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to do that, but here we are. Because I think it's time. Is there anything else that we need to talk about before we get started? No. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Yes, that is one of the biggest things, Dev, is that like like making it takes so much time. And I'm gonna be like, school is gonna start, stuff like that. So I just know it's gonna be a lot. And so I just wanted to, at JD, calm down over there, lol. Should I have the banana leaf too? That y'all in here flirting. Child. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to like put the Patreon stuff in here. If I could, I would. Um, telling him he should be on my grades. Listen. So, okay. All right. Let's move on. So, what are we going to talk about tonight, y'all? Because I feel like I need to do better. I'm going to have a plan from now on. Like, from now on, I'm going to have a plan. Like, when we get on here, I'm not ever, from now on, not going to have a plan. From now on, we're going to have a topic every week. Winter Hut Jr. said, who would you want Piper to be with since we hate Leo? Give it a mark. I don't know. Let them have a long distance relationship if you get what I'm saying. That's all I got. Like, I feel like she did Dan too dirty, so I'm not gonna say Dan. And then, what's his name? The fireman. I mean, he was kind of meh. Piper didn't really have a whole lot of that was really worth talking about. So, I guess if not Lily, I think I would want somebody else. I think they would need to bring somebody else in because the pickings were slim. So, and then Dev says, how would Prue have reacted to, why did I get so dizzy? Okay. How would Prue have reacted to the avatars or Billy and Christy? Listen. Prue would have taken them folks out. And by them folks, I mean all of them. Every single one of them. She would have took Billy and Christy out. For sure. Definitely for sure. When Piper did her cute little blast. Oh, no. If Prue's hand went up towards Christy, Anathema was going to be behind it. I promise you. My Prudence wasn't going to sit there and suffer a witch. Okay? That's a little biblical phrase for you. Baby, she wasn't finna sit there and suffer a witch. That would have been a wrap. That would have been it. Like, there would have a lesbian millennial from Jax said that their wife got you a meet and greet in February. I'm so excited for you. That's amazing. That is so amazing. I hope you have a good time. I hope you come back and tell us how it was. Anyway, Prue would have took them folks out. And that would have been it. And we would have moved on. And nobody would have been any the wiser that there was ever an ultimate power. Because Prue would have said, listen, you're gonna go join your parents. Because I'm not doing this. And that would have been a wrap. Quick as a bell. The avatars, I feel like Prue would have been very hesitant to work with them because she was always the one that was like suspicious of things, but I feel like she was also the one that would be more willing to set aside the differences to work with evil. Not like necessarily just because they were evil, but I feel like Prue is the one that was more likely to be like, okay, we gotta find this person. We're gonna work with the Zoltar. Because, like, you know what I mean? Like, she would be aware that they were evil, or not evil, because the avatars were neutral. But she would be aware that they were a threat, but she would still work with them if it required it. Like, I think about Krill. And they had to find Balthazar because, they were trying to whatever. And she knew he was evil and she didn't trust him, but she still realized that they needed him to find Balthazar. So, I do think it probably would have been a little bit harder to convince her to help create a utopia, because I think that she would be the hardest one to I think she would be the hardest one to convince that the world is better this way, because she would be the one that would be like, well, how can we tell people what to think? How can we tell people how to feel? How can we decide what's better for people? So, I don't know. I don't think it would have been a walk in the park. I'll tell you that. I don't think it would have been easy. Like, they would have had to work. They would have had to work for it. If they wanted Prudence to help them, and if they were up there talking about, lesbian millennial from Jax, please let us know how it went. Please let us know. If they wanted Prudence, Aloysius Hallowell, to work with them, then they were gonna have to prove what was up, what was good. Like, she would have had questions, and it wouldn't have been like, oh, we need to have a meeting with them and we need to talk to them, and then they do it off screen. No, like, we would have been on screen watching Prue question the people, interrogation style, like Grams. Where was my mother born? What's the secret to my peach cobbler, or is it blueberry cobbler? Was it blue? I think it might have been blueberry cobbler. I don't know. That doesn't matter, but thank you for the finger thingy. The finger thingy. But yeah, like, it would have been very that. She would have been like, what's IBM selling at in your time? Like, Mama would have been asking questions. But you know what? If I'm being 100% honest, I could see Prue working with Zanku. I could see Prue working with Zanku and being like, I don't know what the avatars have going on, but we gotta take them out. Like, she would have been like, no ma'am. So that's just my thing. I think after 7 years of being a witch, she probably would have eventually went along with it too. That's an interesting perspective, because we already saw and see at the beginning of season 2 that Prue didn't want to be a witch anymore because of Andy. So that does make me wonder, after 7 years of doing that, how would she react? Like, how would she be if they had to, like, keep going through that? Like, would she be willing to do it? Because I feel like Prue still, that kind of stuff is interesting, because I can think of storylines for them going down the road if Prue had still been there. But it's interesting to think about, like, how that would have affected her. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been very interesting to see how her personality would have changed. Because we know Piper is going to be in. Piper's going to put up a little bit of resistance for about a half a second, and then when she hears no more demons, we're good. We're good to go. Phoebe, I feel like in this timeline would probably be open to it the most, because I feel like she would still be the one to have the vision, get the vision and whatnot. So I feel like in this timeline, she still would be, open to it, because she would see it and feel it, right up close. So she would still be open to it. Prue is just that wild card, because I often, like, I wonder now that I say I often, I was going to say something else, and then I started thinking about this. I wonder if she would have become jaded. Like, would she still want to help innocents in season 7? Would she still want to be vanquishing demons and whatever else? Especially if she hadn't found love. Because here's the thing. Here's my thing. When people say, like, oh, Prue should have been with Bane. Prue should have... First off, that was a one-off fling. no substance to that. I'm not even going 100%. I'm not even going to stand by that because that was like a quick thing for one episode. Well, technically two, if you want to, but that doesn't mean anything to me. Their relationship or whatever doesn't mean anything to me. So, my thing is, I genuinely feel like the show would have went the route of Andy being Prue's true love. I mean, like, they already did say Andy was Prue's true love. But, I wonder how that would have translated to later seasons. Because I really feel like what they would have done is just been like, this is the best it got. Like, Prue can't find anyone that she connects to on that level. I don't know why. Like, I want my girl to be happy, but I wonder if, like, happiness for her would be with a man or by herself. You know what I mean? Because that's the one thing I kind of hated about the end of Charmed, is that they had to end with a man because that's the only way that their life could be, you know, full. Because Paige, I feel like in a real world, Paige was only like 29 at the end of the show, or was supposed to be like 29, and Phoebe was like what, 31-ish, something like that. I think she was 31. So my thing with that is, like, especially for Paige, I could see Paige having ended the show single and just being like, I'm good. And then in the epilogue, we find out that she got married, but the end of the actual show, I could see Paige being single. And, like, you can even address it on screen and be like, Paige just decided that, you know, she's good right now. And I would have liked to see Phoebe in the show single. And I know that that's counterproductive because Phoebe is the sister who's always been, like, the most open to love and stuff like that. But my thing with that is that it would have been such a growing moment for Phoebe to say, instead of trying to find, especially because she had, like, given up on love, which is interesting because to think that Phoebe gave up on love at any point is interesting because she loved the idea of love. So what if by the end of the show she accepted that she was her own true love, and we end the show with her locking eyes with this man, right? Like, you see her, like, looking at this man or whatever, and then in the epilogue you show us that she got married. Is that great? No, it's not. I'm not saying that it, you know, is, but I think it would have been very impactful. Even, no, you know what? In the epilogue, don't even show her getting married. In the epilogue, show her meeting that man. You know what I mean? And then let our imaginations go wild. But they had to have everything tied up in a neat little bow, so I get it. But I think that's why Coop feels so rushed, because it literally felt like they were just trying to give her a man before the end of the show. So he's like, hey, Phoebe, I'm here to open you up to love. And then he's like, the elder sent me to you as a gift. Let's get married. And Coop, he didn't say let's get married, but you know. And then you got Wyatt saying, Uncle Coop. Girl. They could have pulled the True Blood and shown her with the guy behind his face. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It would have been great if the reason couldn't find love with a man is because she was supposed to be with a woman. I don't like that. Me personally, I don't care for that. Because I feel like they would have just been forcing that on Phoebe. Because We never really got any indication that Phoebe liked women in any shape, form, or fashion. Not to say that we have to have one, but I think this is one of those times where it's okay that she liked men. Like, I don't necessarily need her to be with a woman. Phoebe deserved a good love, not a last minute one. Yeah, they should have either brought Jason back towards the beginning of the season. And yes, I did say Jason because I just don't like the way that they just threw Jason away. Because yeah, I did say the show threw Jason away because they did. And I think it was because that's when he wanted to go off to be on Grey's Anatomy. So I understand they had to have a conclusion to it. But it's just like, I would have brought Jason back at the beginning or towards the beginning. You can get away with the middle of the season. And that way, you can still get away with Phoebe not having to like come out. Because she didn't have to do that with Cole. Or Cole or Coop, right? Well, yeah, she never told Cole, actually. He just knew she was a witch. But anyway, she didn't have to do that with Coop because he was already magical. But I think Jason coming back and being mortal would have been an amazing opportunity for her to have that balance between a normal life and him already knowing about her magic and being like, I was immature. No. I'm not gonna put the blame on him. I'm not gonna put the fault on him. Because it's not that Jason was immature. Oh my God, excuse me, my God. It's not that Jason was immature. They did the same thing with Jason that they did with Dan. Where they didn't get a fair shake to actually accept magic. Neither one of them had an opportunity to accept magic. Because if you're telling me that the first time I find out that my girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, whatever, oh, come on, money gun. Thank you. Oh, no, wait. Thank you for the money gun, child. Lord. Okay, Kim Fields. Yeah, so if you tell me that the first time I find out that my girlfriend is a witch, and thank you for the gummy bear, and I'm almost being unalived, that's crazy. That is insane. No, Mia, he found out when Paige and them, they had gone to vanquish whatever. Was it the Hive Demons? It might have been the Hive Demons. And Paige and Phoebe went to go help Piper. And Jason was like, well, what's taking so long? And then he went in the kitchen and he saw them orb in. And Paige turned around and was like, and then he passed out, and then the next scene was him getting in his car and leaving, as a normal person would do. Because what normal person is going to be like, oh, that is so interesting that happened, tell me more? No, I would have left too. And then, you know, as she's talking to him and whatever else, what happens? He gets kidnapped by the demons. They try to unalive the man, and then thank God that he has the potion so he can vanquish him. Like, I mean, not vanquish, but to take the thing out of Phoebe. Like, this man almost lost his life. Of course he was gonna be upset. So, and then the same thing with Dan got turned into an old man, and he was aging, and he was like about to be unalived, and because of old age. And you telling me after that I'm just supposed to accept it? No ma'am, no ham. And that's what I mean when I say they didn't get a fair shake to really accept magic. And it's like, look at that. Thank you, Nurse Buffy. Thank you. Nurse Buffy, have you graduated yet? I forget. Have you graduated already, or is that next semester? Yeah, oh my God, last week. Congratulations. Y'all say congratulations to Nurse Buffy for graduating. And y'all better do it right now. Y'all better do it right now. Because if you don't, hey Laylo, I hope I said that right. I'm sorry if I didn't. Oh, baby, don't these roll? Thank you for the roses, child. My God, you didn't have to do that, child. The child that made me speechless. Thank you, and I'm so happy for you, Nurse Buffy. And I'm so thank you, or congratulations, rather. Um, But look at how let me just say this before it leaves my mind because it will absolutely find like lose my mind. Look, like my God, are you okay? It will absolutely leave my mind that look at when Paige told Cole. God, when Paige told Henry, this is why I don't look at comments because I be seeing people saying, this is what happened. Like when Paige told Henry that she was a witch, she got a chance to, congratulations, Maple Brown Queen, ahead of time. Congratulations ahead of time. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to forget. So, because next summer, baby, that's a ways away. But congratulations ahead of time. Paige had a chance to tell Henry, and we've already talked about that scene when she was like, lights. And then she was like, that's me. I'm doing that. And she got a chance to tell him in a very sweet setting. It was one on one. It was very intimate. It was very, like she had the chance to tell him peacefully. He didn't just get thrown. She had a chance to start explaining things to him. And he was eased into the magical world. He wasn't just like thrown into it. So y'all, initially, I had invited LL Cool Game to join me on live, but I feel like I'm mad at him for some reason. And I don't remember why, but I feel like I am. I may have to come up with a reason. If you still would like to come on, because I did invite him very intentionally. So if you would still like to come on, and if he does come on, y'all better, I'm talking about gaslight. I'm waiting. Well, you gonna keep waiting, because I'm not doing that. You're not gonna tell me you waiting on me. You don't tell me what to do. I'm an independent woman who don't need no man. I've already passed and become a white lighter. You took so long. Okay, Kyle. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. Not Andrea said it's like that now. Boy, hush. Let me invite LL Cool J before he be done. Thought I lied. I'm only doing it because I said I was gonna do it. Y'all better gas. Okay, shh, shh, shh. Get ready. Get ready to gaslight. Hello.
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Just waiting for to be invited.
Oh,
I have a busy schedule. You're not the only live been invited to, so I have a lot of content to keep up with.
like who?
Just all these channels, these big TikTok channels. I can't, really disclose right now. I signed an NDA, so yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, even me telling you is like probably breaching it, but I thought I'd do, some charity work while I'm here.
Mm-hmm. It sounds
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it almost sounds like you're doing something with Todrick Hall.
Ew,
And
oh my God.
I don't know why, but something about that gives me Todrick Hall. Like he seems like he would be the kind of person that would make you sign an NDA if he invited you to be on one of his TikTok lives.
First of all, I like to get paid, so I would never work with Todrick Hall. Thank you very
Per,
much.
per,
Oh my God.
per. That's why I was mad at you. I knew I was mad for a reason. I knew I
Not
was
him
mad
turning
for
down
a
an
reason.
appointment with a chopped cheese? What?
Stop bringing up that ghetto chopped cheese. Anyway, so this is why I was mad. And I knew I was mad for a reason, but I couldn't remember what it was. First off, I'm bad at replying to people, so I'm sorry. That's number one. Number two, you called me old, and that's what the problem was. That was why I was mad.
Oh, you know what's so funny? I was getting ready to make an old joke today, but I was like, I forgot what the context was. I was gonna say something like, someone like in their late 30s, early 40s, that kind of thing, but I forgot the setup for the joke, so
What
I'm
did that
just
have to
gonna
do with
leave it at
me?
that. What happened?
What does that have to do with me?
Oh, no, nothing whatsoever. I was thinking of age jokes today, and for some reason that age range reminded me of you, but it's fine. It's neither here nor there nor anywhere. Wait, can you get banned from TikTok
I
for
hope so.
smoking?
I hope you can.
Oh,
Because
well,
if
I hope
if
you
you can,
can.
I'm
If I
about
if
to
I
be.
smoke and you get banned,
Oh, which you may want to do that off screen. I don't know how that goes.
no,
I
I
don't
don't
know,
want to
I don't
get you
know
in
how
trouble.
that I don't know how they do that.
I don't know how to do that either. It's fine.
But no, I was highly upset and
He doesn't
bothered.
really know you're 25. That's wild. Yeah, I didn't know that actually. Ew, wait, so you're younger than me? Oh, sorry. I only talk to older people. Yeah, I like to learn from the elders
Yeah.
and take their wisdom, their many, many years, decades of wisdom, and apply it to my life.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be passive aggressive right now, and I'm gonna share a story. But
Okay, I love stories.
wait, I thought you were mid 90s. Oh, born in the mid 90s. Oh, girl, I thought you meant in my mid 90s. I was like, girl,
Not the gaslighting already.
I was
Wow.
about to block. And see, but you see who they gaslight? They gaslight me. They not
It's
gaslighting you.
like
They never.
it's like when you invite somebody over and you have kids and the kids start acting up just because some
Mm-hmm.
folk are in the house. It's kind of that. It's like
Mm-hmm.
there's someone else in the
Mm-hmm.
house and now they want to make fun of their parent or whatever. I get it.
Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden you want to tell them that they got a wig on. Like it's too much. It's too much.
Exactly.
So let me
Okay.
be passive aggressive, and I'm not talking about you. I'm just sharing the story because it made me think of it. I
Oh,
have a friend who is younger than me, and what I've noticed is that people who are younger than me sometimes like to make the old jokes because I'm over 30.
oh, I
And
love making
so
old jokes.
you know how sometimes like you can tell a person is not joking because they just keep going, keep going, keep going. And especially, when you share something with someone and they still make a joke about it, because I've shared the fact that I feel like I'm having to catch up, even though I'm over 30, because I feel like, we have it ingrained in us that 30 is old. And so I've shared that, and they'll be like, I guess my time is just a ticking like yours. And I'm like, so I'm not really friends with that person anymore.
Oh, so why am I here? Is that me? No, but I do that all the time actually with my boyfriend too because he's older. He's 30. Oh my god, he's 5 years older than me, so he's 32.
I'm 32.
Yeah, so I'm used to running in an older crowd, so to speak. But no, I don't think 30 is old at all. Like I always remind him, if anything, like 30 is like the actual 20s. Like your 20s are like you're still a child. Like
Yeah.
you don't think, even me as 27, like I see like a 21-year-old, I'm like, that's a baby. That is a child. Like the way I
Mhm.
thought, even between 21 and like 25, completely different, night and day. And especially now 27 versus 21, night and day. So I feel like this is the time when you're actually growing. High school is like a precursor to actually, having freedom
Mhm.
growing up, and then the rest of this now from 30 onwards is like you're actually an adult. You're actually like coming into your own and like finding out who you are, or you already established who you are, and now it's time to like take control of that or whatever. Like everybody's journey is different. It's like
Yeah.
the the need to be on a timeline is annoying. The need to like I think that's something that I realized recently is like the need to perform for other people has
Yes.
been a hindrance in my life that I
Mhm.
didn't realize. Like just like I'm just here to be myself. Like isn't that the whole point? Like you're supposed to offer up yourself, and then if it's good with other people, it's compatible, or like it brings something to
Mhm.
the table that other people don't have. That's like the positive thing. If you're just mirroring other people all the time, you're not adding anything to the group. You're just an extra.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because I beat myself up a lot because I'm 32 and I feel like I've had to start over. But then start over really doesn't make any sense because I'm only 32. And so it's like sometimes I find myself being like, oh, well, I haven't done this. I haven't done that. And I'm like, well, yeah, no, you haven't because you're 32. It's not like you're 94 in a nursing home. And not that anything is wrong with being in a nursing home, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I'm like 120. And the same person who I was just talking about literally told me that they wanted to do everything they could before 30 because they didn't want to be like old and alone and look back with regret. And I was like, baby,
Oh my god.
excuse me? Because they graduated from they got, graduated graduate school, whatever else. And they've been living by themselves, da 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 da. And I'm just like, so what does that mean? Because now I feel like you're saying I'm a failure. You know what I mean? Like, when someone is like throwing something at you without actually saying it. And I was like, well, baby, if you think that you're gonna be old and alone, because like he literally was just going out on dates with people and trying to force people to be in relationships with him because he didn't want to be old and alone. And I was like,
Oh,
you need help. You need help. And anyway, so
wait, well, how old is he?
he was 24 when we got to be friends. And so now he's depressed because he's 28. And he feels like time is a ticking. And I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, if you're not dead, you're aging. So what do you want me to do with that?
But also, it's like if you're constantly waiting for the thing to happen, you're not actively living in your life. You're like waiting for something to fall into place or whatever, but you're not actually in control of your life. You're not the pilot of your life. And like, like
Or you're doing multiple things because you think that's what you need to do so that when you turn 30, you'll have this, have that. So is this even something you want to do? Because, like he is an active person, so he hikes, things like that. And he'll be like, yeah, I'm just trying to upkeep my body so that way because I know when you turn 30, once you get over 30, things start to go downhill. And I was like, so are you telling me to just like go stick my head in the oven? Like what are you saying? I need you to be clear with me because right now it's given that you want me off this earth because you think that I'm too old to be here. That's what it sounds like. But anyway, I'm glad I got that off my chest. Not that I was mad, just that situation. That situation was just anyway. But yeah, I knew it was a reason I wanted to block you. I just couldn't remember what it was. I just couldn't recall off the top of my head. And I was prepared to make something up.
Lovely,
Which one?
lovely.
What?
You were ready to make something up?
I was.
Is
I
that
was
what you
gonna
said?
make something up. Yeah, yes.
Oh, okay. So we're storytellers now. That's cute.
We've always been storytellers.
That's cute. That's cute. I like that. No, I love role playing anyway. It's cute too. Like I love role playing. Like, I'm the
Mhm.
guest, but really I'm the guest star, if you will. Bringing in the views, bringing in the clicks. But I try to keep it humble so nobody's too, like they don't get obsessed with me. I don't like attention, so I don't want any of that energy, geared towards me.
I'm glad you don't like it. That's good.
No, yeah. I mean, I've been getting flooded like my inbox ever since I joined your lives. It's like, oh my God, when are you coming back? Oh my God, we miss you so much. Oh my God, it's such a like I
But you know
can't. The
what? That's
celebrity is too
probably
much.
true. You're saying it as a joke, but that's probably true.
I'm done now. I'm just kidding.
That's why I don't like having people on here that are attractive because I look like a human potato. I look like a potato. And it's
Everybody
like,
loves potatoes.
no, they don't.
Yes,
People
they do.
people don't like starch. And so
What? I just had a bunch of starts today, a bunch of vegan noodles, vegan ramen noodles. It was so good.
that sounds interesting.
It was very good and cheap too.
Hmm,
That's always good.
very. So, since you are, I guess, like you said, the guest,
I'm dead.
because I invited you because I had said I was going to before, and so I didn't want to be made into a liar. So that's why I asked you.
Oh,
Do I
okay.
actually want you to say anything? You
That's
know,
okay. I can just show off my triquetra. As you can
mm,
see here, I don't know, can you see? I don't even know
I
what
can't.
I'm
I
showing.
can't
My
see
thing.
that.
Okay, well, there
Wait.
you go. It's there next to my avatar.
Oh, I
Oh,
forgot you can do this. Oh, baby.
okay, there
See,
you
this is
go.
what the people came here for. You know what? People are actually gonna stay in here now because they're not looking at this. Okay, go ahead.
Bye. My triquetra right here, and my
You know, I thought that
avatar
it was a
painting.
tattoo. Do you know? I thought you were showing us a triquetra tattoo. Oh, you
And,
are. Okay,
well, I'm showing my little my little thing here, the
it's
triquetra thing here. But I also
cute.
have a tattoo.
It's cute.
I'm not obsessed with Charm. I hate that show so much.
Not I got bad eyesight, but I really do. That's
I
cute.
have bad eyesight. No,
I
but
mean, I
yeah,
do too. I'm supposed to be wearing glasses. I just don't.
yeah.
Like when
They
I do
said you should
this.
switch the camera. You are the star of the show. Because watch when I dip, like it's just gonna be a small camera again.
Yeah.
Yes, triquetra tattoos. I feel like not for anything, but if you don't have a charm tattoo,
Well, yeah, I want to get one, but I'm scared. I'm scared because I've never had a tattoo. That would be my first one.
this was my
And
first one.
I'm so scared. And then
It's not bad.
I don't want the people to be like, oh, the people I work with be like, he has a tattoo. Why does he have a tattoo? That magic show. And then next thing you know, they're calling me in the office and being like, okay, you have to take the tattoo off. And I'm like, well, how do you take a tattoo off? But then I also think like I'm not gonna be at that job forever, so I really don't care.
Oh, I don't care. I've decided I want. Well, I already knew I wanted a bunch of other tattoos, but I decided recently I think I want some hand tattoos.
Ooh.
And I work. I've worked mostly in the legal field up to this point, and I'm probably gonna work still as a paralegal moving forward. But I'm like, look, I could do my job just as well, if not better, because I'm gonna be happy with my tattoos. So
Mm-hmm.
let me live, let
Mm-hmm.
me fly.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Even
legal
this
for it.
haircut, like I thought this haircut with like this little design or whatever was gonna get me
It's
in trouble, but
cute.
I was like, oh well, they can't tell me anything. This is my religion, this is my self-expression. Oh well.
Not religion.
Well,
Not
I'm
a
gonna use
shame.
whatever I have to so they can shut up, because I know once you say religion, they're like, oh, okay, you got it. We're not gonna touch on that. That's all you gotta
Now
say.
my
Just say the
God
magic
told me to get
words.
this lightning bolt to my hair.
He really did.
Oh,
Zeus,
come on,
or
Harry
no,
Potter.
Thor. Thor. Hello.
Come on, Harold. So,
Oh my God, no, this too big. Put me on the small screen again. Switch me back.
why?
This is too much attention. I don't like attention.
Anyway, I'm not changing it.
Oh my God.
I'm not. I'm just not. I can't. I won't.
Businesses are shaking when it comes to acknowledging hairstyles and other cultures. Yes.
Let me see. I guess I will put it back so people know what we're talking about. Never mind. Because I just realized people might not know we're talking about charms because
Yeah.
we have been talking about charms for like 15 minutes. Um, so since you're the guest, I'm gonna put the pressure on you and put you on the spot. What do you want to talk about?
Ooh, okay, so I would be selfish and do my whole little theory that I had on Twitter about what was it? Oh my God. I think it was to like edit the whole Phoebe arc or like to do multiple episodes, multiple parts for more episodes because I feel like Charm really suffered from like the Demon of the Week thing was really cute, but I feel like we could have had more storylines that covered at least 2 episodes, maybe 3 episodes for certain storylines.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like it just never like okay, Bakara for example.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that I don't know, maybe that's not the best example, but okay, let's Long Live the Queen. her
Mhm.
reign should have been at least 2 episodes. I was thinking everything
Yes.
happens similarly, like
Yes.
vaguely similarly, but then the next episode, like the part one would basically be how we have Long Live the Queen minus the end, so like minus the Vanquish, and then
Hmm.
part two of Long Live the Queen in my head would be like it's just an extended breakdown of Cole and
Hmm.
Phoebe's relationship. Like, oh my God,
Hmm.
Cole, they're coming after you. So then she defends Cole, but then she realizes that Cole, killed the innocent by himself.
Hmm.
So then she decides to leave Cole, and then she's like stuck in this place of like, oh my God, who am I gonna come defend in the end? Am I gonna go defend my sisters? Or am I gonna defend Cole? I felt
Yeah.
like everything happened so quickly, just in that like what span that happened in that episode was like a day. Like you're
Yeah.
telling me you fell out of love or fell so deep into this void that you went and killed your husband? I don't believe it. Like after choosing
Mhm.
evil, like I wanted just more tension.
And that's what kind of makes me mad about like Womb Raider technically being like kind of a follow up to it a little
Eh,
bit, but not like it felt like it was supposed to be a part two, but it just didn't quite make it over that hump.
yeah.
But then you could also say that Long Live the Oh, thank you for the child, thank you for the stuff.
Sheesh.
Oof, baby.
Keep it raining.
Cutting up.
Keep it
Baby
raining.
Zaby cutting up. Zaby cutting up. Do you understand me? Thank you, Zay. As usual. Thank you. Um, but I think that Long Live the Queen also was it's weird because I feel like it also was technically a follow-up to We're Off to See the Wizard. So it's like it could have either been a part two or the part one, depending on how you look at it. Um
Okay, yeah.
or you could just say it's like a part three. I don't necessarily. I could see it being like a three-parter technically,
Yeah.
but the thing is, the way they flow into each other, it feels like you don't have enough time to really like get into it, and that's why they should have done what you did. Like at least half of one of those episodes should have still been Phoebe being evil. Like
Yeah.
it should have been that. I do think that it would have been a lot, but they could have even found a way to have her vanquish Cole and the baby at the same time. Now, am I saying that they should have done that? No. But um Charmed had a really bad issue, like you said, with not really giving things enough time to breathe. But then we have a two-part mermaid episode.
Which
Like
I guess was fine, but like, and what I liked about the mermaid episode, for example, because I think I also mentioned that on my Twitter post, is that um we introduced three new demons. Two of them were actually a threat. That third one was, filler or whatever. We had two different mermaids because we had Kylie and then we had Phoebe. There was a lot of growth for the characters because Paige, one, she had to like confront, like that was her super witch era beginning.
Mhm.
Piper was becoming a mother, so she had to confront her fears as a mother and not wanting to be basically the same thing as her mother, like killed by a water demon, etc., etc. And then Phoebe
Okay.
finally getting over the hump of Cole. Like it really propelled the story forward
That's
in
true.
2 episodes,
That's true.
and that's cute. But like,
Yeah.
why didn't we get that with other episodes? So I feel like this in the same way it propelled the story forward because they were given enough time to show the arc. I feel like
Hmm.
that's what Long Live the Queen could have done for Phoebe and Cole and just that whole sister dynamic. Like, let me show you guys the breakdown of the sisterhood low key, and then let me show you how it's going to be stronger than ever moving forward because, like, Phoebe did the ultimate thing. She killed her husband. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And looking at it from that perspective of what you just said, I think that makes Oh My Goddesses seem like a really good episode too, or a good set of episodes because they had a good opportunity to introduce Chris, even though we don't get to know a whole lot about him. We get a chance to like become acquainted with him. Paige is turned into stone, but she's the one who knew that something was wrong from the get go,
yes.
from the jump. And now, now, now people may be mad at me for saying
Uh-oh.
this. I am not the hugest fan of the goddess element because I feel like Charmed had started kind of going off the rails a little bit with the transformations. And did I necessarily need a goddess? No. Um, but I understand at the same time that they had to be
Sorry.
but I, but I understand at the same time that they had to be goddesses because they were fighting gods. So it's a weird thing where it's like their power level would be so unmet, uneven with, the gods and the goddess,
But
whatever her
see,
name was. But at the
yeah,
same time, I almost feel like they went a little too big. Like I didn't necessarily need the gods. I mean, because even with the four horsemen, who I would assume were kind of past the point of the power of three, it took the source to vanquish them. So you do kind of run into like, well, how would you get rid of them? I don't know.
right. But I think that, like, I think unfortunately sometimes it was good that they made it that the charm ones couldn't do it on their own. Like when they
Mhm.
did, like, okay, I don't care for the episode as a whole, but I did like Tuatha as a villain.
Mhm.
Her as
Mhm.
a villain, good solo character. It would have been so much better in a different episode, but whatever. But just the fact that in that storyline, there's a chosen one who's not the charmed ones. I like that. It's kind of an interesting like idea of like, okay, you're the strongest witches in the world, but you're not the answer to every single problem. And maybe sometimes you have to bring somebody else up. Like that's fine. I don't like how they executed it by far. Like it's a super tacky episode, but I like that idea. However, they're the fucking charm ones. Like maybe that should have been the solution all along. Like, oh, maybe they couldn't vanquish the Titans before, so they had to turn themselves into gods, but there was never the charm ones before, and you guys are powerful enough to take out the Titans. Like your magic versus their magic, it is equal somehow, whatever. Like maybe that's when they could reintroduce the power of one, and like maybe their ultimate unity would have
Yeah.
been the secret to like defeating the Titans or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a
Yes.
missed opportunity. You keep making them weaker and weaker, and then you introduce Billy and the ultimate power. It's like, girl, like these charm ones are nothing. Like
Yeah.
Billy could just imagine them dead, and they're dead. What?
That's
That's too
true.
much.
That's true because they would introduce these villains who, okay, so in the same season, you have the guy that was the demon that was trying to avenge his father, brother, whatever it was, and he became immortal after he drank from the spring. And
Right.
so they had to turn him into a tree.
Ugh.
Okay, so we
Take this
already
demon and
have
give him
that immortal
roots.
villain. We have the guy from the I am going to say the demon from the Evil Eye episode because the G word is not acceptable.
Right.
So the Evil Eye episode, and so he becomes so powerful that he's just like running through them like nobody's business. And then they have to combine their magic with the Nikolai power to vanquish him, which I was like, what? Like, but, to be fair, I feel like you could say that because it is power related to their specific type of magic, only their magic can counteract it. And so the Charmed ones, Phoebe and Paige, were just kind of like boosting that. And I could see
Yeah.
it because it
That's
was,
cute.
yeah, it was giving kind of Jimmy Rig Power 3. And I don't,
Jimmy, right?
it is, it's giving Jimmy Rig. And I can't say the word I want
That's so
to
funny.
because, And so, um, I kind of liked, but didn't like at the same time when they would have like an alternate version of the Power of Three because it, to me, felt like what's the point of it? So
Yeah.
if you're telling me that two charmed ones and another magical being can form their own Power of Three, okay. If you're telling me that Grams and the wet lady and Piper, a charmed one, can
The
come
wet
together.
lady?
I said wet. The wet lady. The wet.
Yeah. Who's that? Oh,
Okay.
Patty?
Yeah. The lady who got in the pool and never got out. She took it very seriously when she said I'm dropping the kids off in the pool.
Oh my God.
But the kids never made it in.
I'm not even, that's just, wow. That hurt me to hear. Anyway,
It
moving
hurt
on.
to hear.
Oh my God, the wet lady. Oh my God. That reminds me of the bent neck lady from Hill House. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, it's so good. You should watch that. It's basically magic too, because they all have, they don't call it magic, but they call it like gifts or something. I don't know. They call it some other insert
Mhm.
word here for magic, but they'll have like a little magic, and that's why they're being haunted. It's cute.
Do you want me to make a promise that I'm gonna watch something?
No, because I also saw today that you were talking about watching the vampire, no, Interview with the Vampire, And I was like, oh, and then you were commenting on somebody saying, oh yeah, you should watch it, friend. It's really good. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna take your recommendation seriously. Where have I heard that before? And you know, you bought the season, so you know, what's in your wallet? Nothing because you bought the season. So
You got me
it is
there.
what it is.
You got me there, girl. You got me there again. Listen, because it's so funny when people recommend something because I be so serious about watching it, and then the day will come and I'm just like, I don't want to watch this. And when I
This
say the day, like I always set aside specific time, and then it'll get there and I'm like, no, thank you, I don't want to
this
watch
is you
this.
with the show. Oh my God.
I'll be like, that's so pretty. Okay, let me go turn on the episode of Buffy. Let me go watch Charmed again.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you didn't mention Charmed first, and this is a Charmed live. Like, you know, Buffy, Charmed debate, that's whatever. But like, this is your brand we're talking about right now.
I'm gaslighting.
My God, you're so messy.
Imagine me being like imagine me using this picture and then just talking about Buffy for 2 hours.
Or imagine using this picture and talking about the new Charm for 2 hours.
Maybe
I love Macy and Mel and Maggie and the fourth one, whatever her name is, Kayla,
you
right?
said you like male.
I love males. Yes, I'm gay.
We know. No,
Okay.
I said, do you like Mel? Melanie.
No, and oh my God, she's the worst one of them all.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Macy is my baby. Macy is my boo.
Macy's the
100%.
best.
Macy is 100% the best. She is to me. She is my baby. That is like I will take some people out for her. Maggie, I actually like Maggie. I think she's you're either going to love her for like being quirky or you're going to dislike her for being like I know this is the demographic that they were going for, but I'm just gonna say
No.
she was too
Oh my
young
God.
to be a charmer. I
Yes,
I hate saying that, but I do think for what they were trying to accomplish, I think she was too young.
I
Like,
agree with you completely because Macy, okay, Alyssa Milano. Let's just rewind a little bit. Alyssa Milano versus Shannon versus Rose versus Holly. Like,
mhm,
I love her as Phoebe. I will never want like Lori to be Phoebe or something like that. I think she was one of the perfect cast. But I think in terms of like emotional like prowess or like acting
mhm.
prowess for like emotional scenes, Holly, Shannon, and Rose carried so many
Yeah.
scenes. Like,
Who?
and
What did you say, Rose?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
What? Every time she cried, like, okay, she didn't cry that often, but she was crying even in moments where, like, Alyssa should have been crying or Phoebe should have been crying, and she wasn't. She was just, like, making a stern face, and I'm like, no. Like, at least Rose was pulling out some tears here and there, like, you know, to show that she was hurt. Like, when the sisters had to put Wyatt and Chris with Victor, Rose was crying, and then Alyssa was just looking at over at Victor and the babies, or, like, Victor and Piper and the babies or whatever, and she was just staring. I'm like, okay. And
And
so
like
many other times.
and like when they put Leo in the ice, and you might have just
Yes.
and Paige is crying her eyes out, and Phoebe's like,
It's like she just met him the other day.
Alyssa. Okay, here's the thing, and I'm going to be 100% honest in
And
this.
just, sorry, just as a caveat or like a disclaimer, I'm not saying Alyssa can't act. I just feel like she didn't give 110% as often as the other actresses, in
Mm-hmm.
my opinion. Because she could definitely cry when she needed to.
I
When
can
she
agree with
died in Morality Bites, she cried. When Prue died at the end of season two, she cried. Or no,
that. Okay,
season
yeah,
two.
season 2. Okay, yeah. Because I was like, but
At the end of season two, she cried. She cried pretty believably too. It's just, yeah, Alyssa does give good funny. Yeah, very good funny.
she the thing about Alyssa is she definitely would pick and choose when she could be a good actress.
Yeah,
But I do think that her strength lied in the comedy aspect of it.
so
Like I
much.
think she was probably the best like not comedian, but she had the best comedic time and she knew how to make a joke land. She knew how to make things funny that were not
Yeah,
funny. I sometimes get annoyed by this is either someone's sick joke or they're working on a massive evil plan. I get annoyed by that
Oh
sometimes.
my God.
Like if I watch the episode more than once, it annoys me, and I don't know why.
Yeah. No,
I
it's
think
just the yelling is like
yeah,
grating. It's not very fun.
yeah. And I think it's another like season 5 became like super cartoonish. And so it's like I love the episode. I love it down. One of my favorites. It's just that it sometimes I'm just like, girl, okay. We get it. You
Yeah.
can't hear and you have to talk loud. Just stop. But anyway, um Alyssa could really turn it up with the comedy. And I do think that she was a good actress when it would come to the emotional scenes because like when in Long Live the Queen and she was like, "It's who I am." And I was like, "Come on, yams."
Yes.
And she was acting so hard, baby. She said a whole
Yes.
other word. And she could to me, she could really pull it out in scenes like that. And
Yes.
then there would be other times, like you said, where she just kind of seemed like a dead fish.
But it was like such a
And
weird choice. Like it's like Leo, at the very least, Leo being put away. Like he is someone that you've known since season one. Rose
yes.
Paige has less of a connection to him. Yes, maybe they got closer because Paige and Leo, they're both white lighters, so like maybe he took her under her wing in that respect.
Mhm.
But by this point in time, he is basically your brother. Like brother-in-law, whatever that title, he is basically your brother. The fact that
Yeah.
you're not crying, or like you didn't even show, like, okay, she didn't cry that much during Prue's like initial stuff, like her initial death stuff, but then she eventually did like shed a tear, right? Eventually. Like not even that for Leo. What? It's just a weird choice. Like
And
she
then
has
she
the
moved
ability,
out.
but she doesn't decide to turn it on. Why?
Then she moved out shortly after that and was like, "Girl, I know you got to take care of these kids by yourself now, but I got to go."
She had
I'm
no
like,
reason to stay there because Leo was gone. Oh,
that part. It was giving very. It was giving like my man ain't here no more.
right.
And let me. Oh, I didn't see Zay. What you call it? Um, it was giving very that. And it's
Oh,
funny
yay, another
because
guest.
Paige went to Paige went to Henry and was crying. And then Phoebe was like at home playing with the kids, and then Piper was standing outside looking at the old truck. And I was like, why is Piper not with her children? Because it felt like Phoebe had no emotional investment in it. Not saying that she didn't. I'm saying it felt like she didn't have any
Yeah,
emotional investment, and so she was just like, "Let me go play with the kids, I guess." Like,
yeah.
but then she didn't have a man to go cry to. I don't know. Like, I would think, as much as I hate this 4 page, as much as I don't want her to be on the outskirts. I always feel like she should have been with Piper. Like her and Piper should have been together. It, I don't know. I don't know. Like Piper be down there playing with her little abominations,
Oh,
and she just kind of starts to look whatever, and Phoebe walks in, and Piper starts to break down a little bit, and Phoebe just holds her. Like that would have made sense, but they didn't do that. Hey Zay,
Hey.
hi.
hey.
I was just gonna let you talk, and then after, I was gonna say something.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But who knows how long that would have been
Oh,
Oh, oh, okay, so I'm not
playing.
alone.
Exactly, right?
Okay. Wow, beautiful. Okay. I found my community.
do I need to end this?
Oh my God.
Jesus. Okay. Um.
Is this a sisterhood?
Wow. Wow. First and foremost. Wow.
That's so funny.
Um.
It's giving stillness. Oh my God. Okay.
If y'all
That's where
don't,
I leave.
if you weren't here when I said it, go subscribe to my Patreon. Product placement time. Anyway, but no. Whatever we were talking about, that.
Wait, what was they do? Are you all ready to speak?
Uh, Oh, what I wanted to talk about? Oh, I was just here. I
Yeah.
was waiting for y'all. I thought y'all was gonna go.
Oh
But
no,
because
we
you
were
know,
just
I'm
talking
nice.
about
I'm
like
nice. I have manners. I was gonna let y'all go first. But okay, well, me personally, so I was so recently, like well, last night, I was watching Charmed or whatever, and like what really got me is like it's Leo, cause like nothing wrong with him, but like he just like he rubbed me the wrong way sometimes, cause it's like he just bro, it's just some of the things he did back when with Paige, back then within the '60s, with the the fever, and then there's the him. Okay, cool. When he found out Chris was his son or whatever, that's cool. But he went in there full blown open arms, thinking like that boy was going to hug him. Because I would have did
right.
the same thing and clocked him in his mouth.
That Dark Lighter arrow from season 1 should have worked, and
Oh my
the
God.
fact that it didn't
Yes.
just makes me upset because every time I think about it, I'm like, why couldn't the poison have just worked? But
Okay. So
instead,
so so if you're saying this, what would have been your alternative for the charm ones? If I mean, there has to be a
they
white
could
lighter
get a
because they show
competent
that.
white lighter for one. They could have gotten a competent one,
Okay, how is
um,
Leo incompetent?
because he existed.
Very.
I disagree so hard. I feel like
So
Leo, especially rewatching it recently, he gave the charm ones like yes, okay, I will admit he was messy.
Mm.
I definitely did think there's some truth to like, oh yeah, he goes and orbs. He doesn't really orb up there. He goes and orbs to like a stadium and he's chilling with his bros, watching a beer or like drinking a beer, watching sports or whatever. I agree with that. I definitely think he's done that one or two times, which his prerogative. He's been working, but I think I don't think another white lighter would have given the charm ones enough freedom to grow into their craft the way that they did. Because imagine a Natalie from season one who made them follow the rules to a T. Like, where would they be with their craft? Like, I feel like the personal gain consequences, casting spells for funsies or whatever, like, they needed to go through all that to grow as witches. Whereas, like, you have somebody peering over your head all the time. It's like, nope, can't cast that spell. Nope, spell not approved. Spell not approved. Magic not
I
approved. That shit
mean,
is annoying.
well,
I'm,
my first thing with that is this is no shade. This is no tea, no shade. Leo wasn't actually there as their white lighter until well into the season. Like he was doing things behind the scenes, but he was not actively taking a role in them learning the craft. So they were just figuring it out as they went anyway. Which is kind of number one in my book that I don't understand why the uh show writers, I don't know why I feel show writers, but why the writers decided to do that, because with them being so new to the craft, you would think that they, especially with Grams not being there and them having to
Yes.
learn magic, and not only that, but them being the charmed ones, they're not just regular witches. Like these are the most powerful good witches, and they kind of like got lucky that one of them didn't get unalived in the earlier seasons,
Yeah,
like in
for
season
real.
one, because if even one of them had got taken out, they're let's just say Paige wasn't even conceived as a storyline at that point, or a story,
Right.
plot point. You know, they're gone. And then even from the
it's
perspective
over.
of the elders, they didn't know that there was a fourth sister. So you could have very easily, because the dream sorcerer was eating Prue up, and the dream sorcerer ate Prue up real quick. And if what's his name in the like at the end of the season, if he had succeeded in taking them out, then that's it. Within a year of the charmed ones being there, they're already gone. Um, Now, is that necessarily Leo's fault? No, that's more of an elders type situation, because why would you not want him there with them to help them and guide them? Um, my thing about Leo has always been that I do think I'm on the fence about saying this. I do think that his relationship with Piper sometimes kind of like maybe not hindered them,
Mm.
but it had a little bit to do with it. And there would just be times where, again, I think a lot of my issues with Leo goes back to the writers because
Yeah.
there would be things that he would just like not know. But then the thing with him going up to the book in whatever am I trying to think about?
When he was crying
When he
through the
Morality
healed the
book
book?
with his
in Morality
hands.
Bites. And Piper
Oh.
told him that they, had gone to the future and what they went through. And he was like, they didn't tell me what was going to happen, but just that you needed to learn a lesson. Do you think that you finna jump up and down in me and on me? And
Right.
then you're not going to tell me something that's huge. And it's like that dedication to putting his job before their relationship makes sense. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have put his job first. What I'm saying is that to me, would have caused a lot of undue pressure on their relationship. And
But wait, hold on. I have to say something. But didn't the elders say later on in the season that they knew Piper and Leo were destined to be together? So like, I mean, it kind of would make sense if like they were like in the earlier seasons, like they were just trying to keep them apart from like they were trying to change history per se. Let me say that.
I
This
mean,
was
I've
in
always
like season
been of the
7.
I
idea
don't
that like that
think
they wanted Piper and Leo to conceive Wyatt, and that if they let Piper and Leo be together without issues before then, they would have conceived Melinda first, and I don't think she would have been twice blessed per how everything happened. So my theory is that they orchestrated like all their turmoil and like ups and downs or whatever, so that Piper could conceive a child at the right time, and that child would be Wyatt. That's my conspiracy.
why wouldn't a child be twice blessed?
That I don't know because they didn't really allude to Melinda being twice blessed in Morality Bites. They just kind of showed her as a witch and they wanted to bite her powers. They didn't really make her to be anything special because then I feel like that also would have been a storyline in Morality Bites, like, oh no, she's special, don't bite her powers or whatever, blah blah blah. But that's
Mm,
a reach.
I don't think it's a reach. I get where you're coming from. I don't think that would have been the focal point of it because it was about feeding and it was about
Yeah,
them learning their lessons. So I don't necessarily think that they would have focused on that. But then I also feel like we didn't get enough information on her to say that she wasn't,
yeah.
you know, powerful like that. Because for all we know, the well, the way it was worded, I was gonna say that binding spell could have been a power of 3 spell, but I don't think it was because she was like, "I take your hand in mine, something something intertwined." So it's like it sounded very one person ish. Um, I don't know why I brought that up, but that's what that made me think of.
Mm,
Um, I don't think that the elders wanted them together though, because I feel like they knew that he was like their child would be potentially very powerful. So, that kind of power unchecked is just, I mean, we
yeah.
kind of see what happened, but
Gideon.
then you have to look at the fact that that was again an elders making. Like the elders were the ones were well, Gideon was the one who created that situation. So it's like, it was kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy at that point because yeah, the power, why it was an abomination who should have been thrown into a fire, but at the same time,
Yeah. Why? Why? Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. I thought she was
She's coming in the door.
Oh, damn.
Where the dog?
Oh wow.
Intermission.
Intermission. I gotta mute myself. Hold on.
oh my goodness, goodness,
Oh my God.
oh my, so we're just gonna keep this thing rolling. um
Well, I was gonna say, I feel like Leo well, like I agree with you. I think Leo suffered writers' dilemmas and
Yeah.
not actual story-driven like arcs or whatever. Because
Mhm.
then we could argue, one, what is the point of a familiar? They were like, a familiar
Yes.
is somebody to protect witches while they learn their craft. Okay, so then why do we need white lighters? And then if there's magic school, why wasn't that around for the charmed ones? You're not gonna give them a
Mhm.
little, at least a private little lesson on the side for the
Mhm.
charmed ones? Also, that begs
Mhm.
the question, did Patty ever go? Because when did Magic School close down?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Eh,
just so many questions when they start introducing all these little things on top.
Yeah.
It's like the cake has been baked, it's already been decorated, and now you just want to add toppings for the fun of it. Like, no.
Yeah. Stephen is making a good point. I do think that the familiars were more of like an in-house kind of like, hey baby, there's a demon, for the
When did Kit ever do that?
what's his name in the first season? And he hissed at that man. But to be
They
fair,
didn't
like you're
even see
saying,
that. That was outside of the house. Andy was the only one that witnessed that. What a
oh,
useless ass cat.
oh my God. Okay. Wow. Not the cat,
You got a point.
but
Oh, he's back.
but but um I do think that they fumbled because to me, now I usually try to avoid talking about like the writers in a context of the show because I feel like that kind of like
Oh no, we could have the
is the
discussion
cheap
for
way out.
hours. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's kind of the cheap way out sometimes be like, well, the writers, but I think there are some instances where you have to bring up the writers. And I think white lighters are a big one because I don't think, to me, I'm going to say for me, I don't think they had full like concept of a white lighter really
Yeah, no.
fleshed out by the time they introduced Leo. And so he's a guardian angel. He looks out for you from behind the shadows and you never know, but he's fallen in love with his charge. But then
Yeah.
later on it's like a job. It's not just he's an angel, it's an actual job for him.
That's
And
also what I didn't like. I think they diminished the importance, or like, if Leo's whole thing is that this is so important that I am also gonna maybe sometimes betray my wife or like go against her or become an elder and abandon my family. Like, I feel like they needed to stop painting it as a
you know,
career because it sounds like a
yeah,
9 to 5. I don't give a fuck about a
yes,
9 to 5 when we're married, but if you tell me
yes.
this is your life's purpose, I'm like, okay, maybe we'll
Mhm.
take a step back and talk about where we stand versus your life's purpose. A career, please.
Yeah. And it's kind of like how Leo, this is another thing I didn't care for with the writers, is that Leo left on purpose, right? So you can say like he was already responsible for helping rebuild magic. Okay, I'll give you that. That's fine. I can deal with that. But my thing was he left, Chris sent him to Valhalla. Okay. We get Leo back. Now all of a sudden he wants to get back with Piper. And now all of a sudden he's jealous that she's going on dates. And I use the phrase now all of a sudden because even though it makes sense for him to be jealous and it makes sense for him to want to get back with her, baby, you the one that left in the first
Right.
place. Like Piper was mad and angry to the point where
She wants to kill
he was
innocents.
just
Let's
trying
be
to
honest.
trying to cast a spell on the woman so she can get a feel what she's
Right.
trying to actually feel, and it interacted with Leo's spell. But my thing with that is like this woman was mad as she should have been, and I feel like it was just kind of like Leo was like, oh, I don't, his attitude was very, I didn't know that you had this kind of anger. Well, yeah, of course she has that kind of anger. You left. And I don't feel like the show really, really jumped into him leaving because I think at a certain point it was just kind of like they're not together anymore. No, they're not together
Yeah.
because he left. So when Piper was like, I can't move on if you're always hanging around, she wasn't saying it to be mean. She wasn't saying that to be a jerk. She wasn't saying, okay, well, you're a stupid idiot who, doesn't deserve to see your child. She's saying, like, baby, you left. And I got to pick up the pieces of my life. And I can't do that if you just keep hanging around, which is another reason that they should have had another white lighter instead of Leo being, well, okay, let me go back. Let me double back. When I say another white lighter, what I mean is a white lighter that was not somebody from the future that they didn't know. and that
No,
they
I agree. Like
yeah.
maybe once they establish that, like, okay, Piper Leo, you can get married, you're together, whatever, he should have been like just an extra. Like he's another body that's there, or another white lighter, or whatever. But they should have had an actual white lighter, like assigned to them, because then that would have given Leo, I think, the freedom to be more in the family versus like caught in between white lighters and witches or whatever. Like, or maybe that would have gave some extra attention to it. Like, oh, I'm trying to be on my family, but then there's this other white lighter who's constantly reminding me of the right way to do things, like a la
Hmm.
Natalie or something like that. But
Hmm.
I think Zay wanted to say something. I feel like we kept interrupting.
Oh, sorry.
Zay.
Listening, you know. Like I was going in and out.
Are you getting cussed at again?
And like my connection was very spotty. No, I'm not getting cussed out again. Not today. I didn't do nothing today.
Baby, I didn't know what you what.
You see?
I can't. Oh my god.
But no, all I really wanted to say is like to be honest, like if you but if you being honest with yourself, like Leo, like he's an okay character, but it's like it's sometimes with the oh well I can't heal this. Well, why do you have the power? Like it's just like if they give you a power, why are they like punishing you? So now you if in a way it feels like the elders are trying to like literally just like it's like how the avatars were, but not like they're eliminating people. They're playing who and choose and who they can heal and
Oh
what they
yeah.
can do. If you have the
And it was
power,
never
why not help?
consistent. It was never consistent.
Never.
It's
Because
kind
wasn't
of
it
like
only
okay, so
magic? Wasn't it only
we know,
demonic attacks he was supposed to be able to heal?
huh?
Wasn't it only demonic attacks that he was supposed to be able to heal?
Yeah, yes, but he
He
could
healed
still use it
Cole,
whenever he wanted to. Like
right? He also
he could,
healed that man that was shot in season one with
he
the
healed
son that was.
Piper's finger. He healed Piper's finger.
Are they approving the heals? First of all, they have a record of them because Natalie was like, healing for this or whatever. Come on, Leo. Like,
Yeah,
so and you're letting it happen?
yeah, yeah. And like, why is he healing pipes? I'll
Well, I
never get.
mean,
Why is this man healing pipes? But then there are other times. Well, oh God, wasn't there not other times? But wasn't there a time? And I can't remember off the top of my head that he was like, I can't heal him because when he tried to heal Sam and he couldn't. Although that kind of made sense because Sam was drowned from the inside, and so. But no, he wasn't drowned from the inside. Prue killed him. Prue electrocuted him. So then that makes me wonder, like, can you heal electrocution? Like, if someone gets electrocuted, can you heal that? I mean,
Yeah, he can.
I don't think so because like if they did, they gone. They did and they gone. I don't
well, I
think
mean, but
there's no coming from that.
Sam's
Well, I mean,
song,
if he's dead, yeah. But like, if he's electrocuted, but like still, bracing onto
Oh
life,
yeah,
he should be able
responsive.
to.
Yeah.
Because like Phoebe, okay, Phoebe in I forget which episode. I think it was in all not All Homeworks, Charmed and Dangerous, when
mhm.
that demon, the Guardian of the Hollow, first came into the house and like threw her against the mirror. That was all glass that he healed. It wasn't like a demonic, fireball or something. It was glass that she got pushed into glass, and that he was able to heal that slowly because she was dying. But like same thing for Sam. If he was just slowly dying, you could heal it.
But I would think so. When
Hmm.
he healed Phoebe, there was a wound that, even though it wasn't directly caused by like a demon's magic, he still, hurt her. So,
Yeah,
but there was a physical wound. Whereas, like,
electrocution would do the same thing. Maybe you don't see it the same way. It's not like a gaping like
yeah,
bloody gash or whatever, but like you still have internal damage.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, yeah, that's true. That is true. I don't know. Charmed gets on my
There's
nerves.
so many gaps in Charm that it's just like it's hard to fill out all of them. You
And yet
can't
we
just
still love it.
necessarily
It's
fill
it's
them.
impossible not to.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Love this
And
mess.
then it's kind of like, so their powers are tied to their emotions, but it
Mm.
just is like being a white lighter and getting to the point where you are so upset that your powers can fail on you is crazy to me
Yeah.
because Sam's powers weren't working because he was so down on himself. And then when those two guys that he killed in the war, when
I
they
hate that episode.
he didn't actually kill them people. Um, I need to stop saying stuff like that because then people will be like, they'll think I'm serious and that I never actually watched the episode. Anyway, um, and Lily felt guilty for their deaths, and he was so upset that he couldn't heal Pepper, because when he would get upset, he'd be like, Pepper, Pepper, Pepper. So he couldn't heal Pupper, and they had to, get him to believe in himself again so his powers would work. That is just crazy to me that you can have a white lighter and their powers are like become useless.
Oh my, you okay?
I'm so
Okay.
sorry. I thought I muted myself.
And you didn't. And you didn't. And you didn't.
I'm so sorry.
And you didn't. And then like
it
Patton was
actually
putting her
makes sense
hand on
though
him,
if you think
and the
about
little
it because
thing happened. I'm sorry.
what?
Let me just say this one thing.
No, yeah,
When
sorry.
Paige put her hand on Psalm and the little orb thing happened, and I think you just healed yourself. Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. It's given very Naruto, the power of friendship. There's something special about him. I can't. I just
Oh
can't.
my god.
It's given very Naruto.
Oh my god.
It's given very we can do it. Oh, Andreas sent y'all a gingerbread man.
Ooh, I don't know what that means, but thank you.
I guess he sent something to me too. Okay, because I was about to get upset. But thank
We
you.
love gingerbread people
Baby, I was like
of all gender appropriations.
a ginger person.
I was
not
quoting
making fun-
Rihanna.
I'm sorry, I'm not making fun of like
Oh wait, hold on.
ginger expression. Did you actually mute it? I'm so proud of you. Oh my God. That you remembered how that worked. I know y'all saw me eat them grapes earlier, but now I want some popcorn. And I'm not going to do it because I don't want y'all to call me fat and be like, look at him.
Why?
Fat crap.
Oh well, the reason I even started on Alyssa Milano and commenting on her acting is because I was gonna say for the new Charmed, Macy, the actress that played Macy, her acting, in my opinion, was by far the best of the show. In my opinion. Macy. Am I saying Macy? That's the proof of the season.
I think that she improved because at first I think she was very stiff as an actress.
I think that about Mel. I feel like Mel was super stiff and very monotone. And then Maggie, my comment on Sarah Jeffrey's acting is it felt so Disney. Like I heard what you were saying earlier, like the age demographic. I feel like she was just not the right choice for this show. Like everything she gave was like she was still on the Disney show. Like it felt like I was watching The Descendants. And I never seen that before.
Well, Macy to me, I do think she got better. In the beginning there was just a lot of like, whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would be like, Mama, come on. Whereas Mel, I feel like was just being loud a lot, and she was just kind of like unnecessarily doing things. So while her acting wasn't horrible, it wasn't great. It was just kind of in the middle. But the character was so annoying. She just seemed like to me, I don't know, girl, I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't know. I don't I don't know anything about the actress, so I can't comment about like any of her other roles. Just as Mel, dead. Like the tone is dead. Like I have no interest in her as a character. And like she was a gay character. I wanted to love her so much and like root for her and like Nico and whatever the storylines were or whatever. But like I didn't care. Like I felt something when they cast the spell, but I feel like it was just because the whole spell to like make her forget about Mel was like just so dramatic in and of itself. But like she could not command a room like Holly did for Piper. Like she was not the Piper. She wasn't the Holly of her season, of her
Oh, no,
series.
definitely. Oh, I wanted to say something that you said. Say something to something that you said earlier. I don't remember who it was. It might have been you. That was like, if they had had a more stern white lighter, they wouldn't have had the opportunity to like do stuff. I think they could have gotten around that because I think that the white lighter would have grown with them, whether it was Natalie or whoever. I think that that person might have started off stern and been like, these are the rules of magic, and they just constantly break them, constantly break them. But as time goes on, they prove that they're competent, and even when they break rules, they can still get stuff done. And I think that would have given us a little character arc for that white lighter to watch them kind of loosen up and then eventually get to the point where they're fighting for them to be able to do what they want to do. You know? Like, does that make, am I making sense?
I was gonna say that I mean that works, but I also think the original way also works if we're like looking at like the elders being all knowing. Like, okay, we know when somebody's gonna become a white lighter if they make all these good choices. We know the sisters are destined to be this, that, and the third. Okay, so like maybe they also knew that the sisters didn't need a white lighter that was constantly over their heads. Because like for example, Phoebe season one, when she used her power of premonition to win the lotto, like maybe that was a lesson she needed to learn without like, just being told you can't use your powers this way. Maybe learning it in that way where like she lost the ticket and
Mhm.
understanding like, oh, even if you do everything right, it's still personal gain, because she gave the couple the other copy or whatever, so she was thinking like, okay, we're gonna split the
Mhm.
the millions or whatever. No, but like she had to learn that way. Or when the sisters cast a truth spell, well, when Prue cast a truth spell for Andy, that was another lesson they had to learn. Like you can't cast a truth spell for like your little mortal needs. Like it has dire consequences. You might learn something that you don't know about. You might like get into situations like cute. I think that they needed that. Oh wait, they left.
Who?
I think that they needed that to show the characters grow on their own. Because also, what about Piper freezing the room constantly when that waiter was like knocking things over because he was like, depressed because he didn't get with the other waitress?
Hmm.
Like her freezing constantly is that's personal gain. What if they would have stopped her constantly? She wouldn't have been able to exercise her powers and like grow into like her own craft. I feel like it worked out a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. That makes sense.
Oh my God, are you getting spammed?
I blocked them.
The book did all the teaching. Yeah.
Yeah, I just blocked them and moved on. Um, I don't know. I guess my thing is like the fact that my girls were having to go to the hospital.
They
you
went to the
know,
hospital?
but huh?
When did they go to the hospital?
Like I'm just thinking about times like after Prue got in her car wreck, and then instead of being able to call for her white lighter,
Right, yes, yes,
mama
yes,
was
yes,
going to the
yes.
hospital. Um, Lord. See, now that you didn't ask me about it, now it's time. Now I'm not gonna be able to think of it. Now I'm gonna
No, but
go.
I mean, I remember Piper when she got sick, but I figured that was just because he wouldn't be able to heal that.
Mm-mm. Like even after Piper, Phoebe got knocked off the bike. Like Mama
Mm.
had a concussion. Mama had a
Could
concussion.
argue that's like magical because she had her premonition, and that's what basically caused her to the sequence of actions that caused her to get into the accident.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I just think introducing Leo as a white lighter is kind of so late in the game. I don't know. I don't know, man. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I think it's the same thing with Chris. It's like they didn't really know what to do with him until they were like, oh my God, let's do this with him. And then by then it's like we've already established he's 10 different things. Like he was like a white lighter, but it seems like he was just a guardian angel,
Mhm.
period. Not for witches, just period. Like he just goes around helping good people or whatever. Because who the hell is Daisy? Why is she so important? Did they ever say she was going to become a white lighter or something?
Yeah, she was a future white lighter.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that, but okay, that makes sense.
Well, that's why Alec was after her. He was after her, and they were trying to like procreate and all this and that, and he was gonna kill her because she was a future white lighter or whatever.
Oh,
Kind of like
I
Amy
definitely don't
Winehouse in
remember it that
season
way.
two. and she was a future white lighter.
Yeah.
And Merc was
Okay.
up.
Oh, right, right, right.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, and then there will be other times like we just wouldn't know who their charges were. Like the one that Piper went to when she had Leo's powers in season 5. And I was like, is she a
The French
witch?
one.
Yeah. And she was like, who's Leo? And I was like, so is she a witch? Is she a mortal? Is she, what kind of trouble is she in?
Weren't they shooting at her?
Mhm.
That seems like a mortal problem. Like, go take care of that on your own time with the authorities.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get your white lighter involved. What?
Mm-hmm. Girl, it seems like you got some bigger issues going on than demons. Because I don't think the demons gonna start.
Also, yeah, unless it was like witch hunters, like they call, you could have like a callback to season 4. But
Mm-hmm.
now we're doing the work as fans for the show. So like, I
Yes.
don't want to do that either. Like, y'all got to put in the work and show me
Mm-hmm.
consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I think you said it, like they completely forgot about Kit, and then they were like, "Oh, by the way, the reason we forgot about her is because she's actually Katrina, and
Yeah.
she's a familiar that was granted this or whatever." Like, okay, nice save. Like it's
And we
almost
didn't use
believable
it
because of
anymore.
Paige.
I was
Yeah,
kind of glad. I was glad that they went back and addressed that. I'm not gonna lie. I like the fact that they addressed it. I just feel like I did have a discussion with somebody before, and they said like that it made sense that Kit left. I just feel like Kit as a guard, a guardian, whatever, or what word am I looking for? As someone who guides
familiar.
you, which is a familiar, but like that they guide witches and whatever else. It's like leaving right then when Paige was coming in, and Paige would be like, "That looks like the cat that used to be outside my apartment all the time."
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I don't
I
know.
actually said somewhere recently that I feel like because Paige had a bird,
Mm-hmm.
maybe the bird should have been her familiar, that we didn't know about or something like that. Because what happened to the bird? Did Kit eat the bird?
No, the bird got killed by the source.
Is that what happened? Oh,
Yeah, remember,
yes.
Paige went in
Yes,
the
yes, yes. It was that
bathroom
same
and he was,
episode, yeah.
yeah, he was in Shane's body and he killed the bird, and then Paige never asked about what happened to her bird. He just was gone and she didn't care.
Maybe that was her inner desire because he was trying to convert her anyway. So he was like, let me just do it for you. See how good it feels. Okay, well, wait. That episode, when she called for the heart, explain to me the mechanics of of her magic in that moment. Because she doesn't call, like, okay, she's calling for the heart. The way she's calling for it makes it seem as if it's traveling slowly through his body and then like about to exit, like, Alien versus Predator style.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not that. Her power is to teleport things to her. So it should have
Mm-hmm.
been heart right in your hand instantly. So why didn't it work? That seems like a huge plot armor situation where it's like, no, she should have killed him instantly, if anything. Like maybe do what Paige did when she was Hex and she put that blonde woman in that like hellfire pit or whatever. Like do
Mm-hmm.
something like that, like orb somebody to danger, but like the telekinetic orbing did not work that way to delay that much.
Yeah. So somebody said that maybe she was just squeezing it, and I can maybe not necessarily just 100% go with that, but because she was doing like this, she didn't do like this. So, and we know when she does
Well,
like
I mean, yeah, she
this,
was like grasping, yeah.
yeah. So she was like that. So maybe, and we know when she does like this, it repels as opposed to this that, calls it to it.
Right, yeah.
So even that one little like difference in her hand makes, it makes the power work differently. So
Oh,
maybe,
somebody said that maybe if when they're evil, their powers work differently. So I could see that.
yeah, 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 that makes sense. Mm.
Okay, good job. That was a good lawyer defense for Charmed.
Well, it's like that time, and I've seen people explain it, so I guess that I will let them have it. But the fact that they only did it that once pisses me off to no end. Is when the man in the same episode where they, were torturing Lily, and Piper freezes the knife and then puts her hand down and the knife falls. Don't, I can't. It actually makes me
Oh,
sick to see that, because I'm like, there is no way that y'all just did that and then never did it again. Let me say this. There's one thing in introducing it, and there's another thing in introducing it and then, because that's a
never
very
using it
useful
again.
ability. Like that would be
That
very,
is.
very useful. But they were just like, no, we're not
That
doing
would
that.
have literally prevented the whole storyline with Miles, or not prevented the whole storyline. That's a lot. But when Phoebe, when she went to stop the bullets, like Piper
Mm-hmm.
could just be like, "Oh, I got it. Like, stay here. Like, don't even get in danger. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Zay, you're back.
It was. Yeah, I'm back. Where we left off, my bad. My phone died. I had let my phone die.
I'm dead. I literally have to just charge my phone right now too. These lives be taking a battery.
They
They do.
definitely do.
Baby, by the time I be done, my phone be so hot. This phone
Yeah,
just
it is hot.
fall. I'm gonna have to. I don't know if y'all were in here when I said this earlier, but these lives gonna have to be a little bit earlier. They're gonna start at 7:30 from now, because, baby, nine
Ooh,
o'clock is a little too late for me.
I was gonna say
Cause
it's almost midnight for me.
Yeah, I'm a gentleman of a certain age now, so you know I have to. Baby, I can't stay up like I used to. I
I
can't do
feel
it.
that.
I can't. So, join the Discord.
Oh my God, I forgot I have that.
Oh yeah, because you don't ever respond.
There's so many apps I can't like. I got back on Tumblr now too, so I'm like, okay, I'm really busy with that and like curating my blog. So, I'm very
Don't worry.
busy.
If you
what is
don't care
Tumblr?
about me or
What
us
is
or what
Tumblr?
he has to say. Did you say what's Tumblr?
Yeah, what's Tumblr?
Wait, how old are you?
If I don't know what Tumblr is, I'm not your age. Cause
Oh,
no.
Well, no, I was gonna say like,
Oh
well, I
yeah, I'm
was
only
thinking maybe if you're.
18.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that makes
Yeah.
sense. Because Tumblr was really popular like 5 years ago, so yeah, you would have been 13. So okay, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
Tumblr wasn't really a thing for me. I mean, it doesn't seem. Is Tumblr like how MySpace was, or
Oh, wait, that's so funny. You know MySpace, but not Tumblr. That's so funny. You women of a certain
yeah?
age. Yeah, basically Tumblr's like it's kind of like MySpace. It's like MySpace was mixed with Twitter, I would say. That's like an easy explanation.
Whoa,
Yeah.
Twitter! Wow, that's. I gotta try that. I need to download that.
Yeah, I like it just because, like, for example, like Charmed community, the first community I found of Charmed was on Tumblr. Like people talking about the show, making GIFs, like posting content. Like I loved that era of Tumblr because, and I got back onto it for that reason. I'm like, I want all these fandoms, like, content because I don't really see it on Twitter as much. Like my Twitter, I like one thing and it's like a completely random thing, and then my Twitter feed just shows me 10,000 more posts like that. I'm like, okay, tampoco. I'm not trying to see everything on this topic. Anyway,
Well,
that's
I
my
mean,
rant.
Twitter. I don't know much about Tumblr, but you just told me about it. But Twitter, Twitter is a place where I wouldn't wish my worst enemy to go to. I went to Twitter and I seen things that I cannot unsee. Things that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy.
Oh my God. Yeah, I've seen
where you
some
be
shit.
looking at, John?
A lot, like my friend sent me this one video, and I guess it like correlated with my algorithm, and now it's like a lot. It's a lot of like it was just like a scary video, and it involved the G word. Well, a certain G word,
I'm not even gonna guess. I have no idea what that means.
gore. It was a lot of gore.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, ew.
very scary.
But see, that's what I mean. Like you, even just being sent a video like that, now your whole feed is like that for no reason. Whereas I feel like other apps don't suffer from that kind of algorithm.
Yes, it's the same way with TikTok as well because like I was on like one day it was just like I was cool scrolling through TikTok, it was fine. And somebody sent me this video saying I was cursed. Now my whole damn For You page is a whole bunch of curse stuff. I'm like, oh my, are you serious? Because I interacted with one
Uh-oh.
video. It's insane.
Uh-oh.
We know
The
what that
blanket is
means.
out. He say, "Shut up, I'm tired."
I'm just listening. I'm just listening. I keep on talking.
Don't
Y'all,
close your eyes.
y'all keep on talking. Talk about what y'all talking about.
But no,
No,
like
that's
the
just
For You
okay.
page and the algorithm is way off though.
Agreed, agreed.
It is. It is. I just be on there every now and again. I don't really. I feel like I do. Like I'm really bad at responding to comments. Like horrible at responding to comments. And so like I'll
We
post
get it. You can't
something.
be bothered speaking to the little people.
That's true. That's very true. And but no, it's I think it's my ADHD. But then I also think it's just I get overwhelmed sometimes cuz it'll be very random. But it's like sometimes I'll get like 3 responses and I just be cool. And then other times it'll be like 40. Like the one about Interview with the Vampire that I may or may not actually watch.
Oh my God.
So many people, so many people have
Witnessed
responded to it.
you,
People I don't know and have
and
been
they
like,
witness you saying you're gonna watch it. Are you gonna
Jeffrey,
be known as a Are you gonna
Procrastination.
be known as a liar to the public? Is that what you want on your name?
probably if it comes to like watching something, there's a high likelihood that if I tell you I'm gonna watch something, my friend, okay, so my best friend was trying to get me to watch this show on Netflix called Blood of Zeus.
Mm.
He talked about that show for, I kid you not, a year. And I don't mean
Oh,
year like me trying to like hype it up. I am saying that for a year straight,
Uh,
he was talking to me about Blood of Zeus and would ask me if I had watched it. And I would say, no, I'm going to watch it this weekend. And one day I had some random time on my hands and I said, I am going to watch an episode of this. And I fell in love with it.
oh.
And then he did the same with Record of Ragnarok. Um, I started watching Record of Ragnarok. Not Shantae said I'd be lying. I started watching Record of Ragnarok after he had suggested it for months. I mean,
Mm.
months. And one day I was like,
you see, with me, it's like you got 10 seconds to impress me. Because if you can't impress me within the 10 minutes, I'm turning it off.
I mean,
I
I
used to
can
be like that.
I can go with something for a little bit, but like a Discovery of Witches that I decided to watch, no ma'am. I watched 2 episodes of it, I think maybe 2.5, and I said, no ma'am, I can't I'm not watching this anymore.
It's not for everybody. I can definitely see that. I think at my old age, because I guess I'm old now, I've realized I can like a lot of different things if I just take myself like out of my head and what I expected. And like a
Mm-hmm.
Discovery of Witches was one of those shows, for example. Like I went into that show thinking it was one thing because I saw just a bunch of clips of Diana using her magic. So I'm like, okay, cute. I know what I'm getting into. I want to see some magic. It's definitely not how you think it's gonna be if you just watch like a highlight reel. Um, but I took it for what it was. It's like a romance. It's a romance between her, the witch, and then him, the vampire, and then all these other things unfold because of that, Romeo and Juliet love story, whatever. Like a lot of other things that, like, if you just watch the show, you'll see how deep it gets. But it's a hard sell for people if you don't like a slow burn romance, which I didn't think I did, but I ended up enjoying it.
And see,
But
I
that's the same
love
thing for a
soap
lot of shows.
operas. I love soap
Oh no.
operas. So you would think that I would love a
Yes.
good old, a good old fashioned slow burn romance. But there's something about that show. And I'm not usually the kind of person that says like, the acting takes me out of something because I can move past the acting if the story is good. But there was something about Diana, who I already hate as a character. Just in the first couple
Oh.
of episodes, I hate that woman. And when the old man was in her mind and he was like, don't make me force you to do this or whatever. And she was like,
Uh-huh.
get out of my head. Girl, shut the
I
fuck
think if
up.
anything, because I think the actress is Australian, I think it's
Mm,
another
that would explain.
accent
That would make
thing.
sense. That would make sense.
Yeah, because I've seen her in other things. She was in I Am Number Four, and then I think The Sorcerer's Apprentice, and some other things I've seen her in. And she's a pretty good actress, but you know, the accent can do a lot. Can do a lot. If you're focused on that, it's like it takes away from everything else that you're trying to do.
Hmm. I guess I'll try to go back in the future and watch it, but right now I can't. I can't.
I just
Is
like
it
what they did with their I guess like the plot, like what was the issue at hand. Like they're looking for the Book of Life and the secrets of the Book of Life, like what does it hold or whatever. And I think when they finally revealed it, I was like, oh, that's really cute. It's like we're all come from the same cloth, we're all cut from the same cloth. So that's you have to watch the show to like understand the significance of that, but it's cute. But Motherland Fort Salem, the thing that we purchased, the thing that's in our library, the thing that's, queued up. Did you even watch the first episode?
Jeffrey?
Oh my
Maybe he
God.
watched the
Like
first 20
literally
minutes.
Stop
the
being
first
messy.
5 minutes, there is a mass attack using balloons. And it sounds silly, but you need to watch it to understand how creepy and scary it is, and like how the magic just takes off from there. Like, it's such a good show. Like, if you like witchcraft, that is like such a unique take on witchcraft with the singing. Oh my God, it's
The
so
singing, I
good.
will say, I've seen clips of the singing, and I do find that part interesting because
It's so
to
good.
think that magic is that tied to like sound and things like that, I find that very, very interesting. So
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
gonna give
another
it,
lore of witches.
I
I'm gonna give it
mean,
a chance. I'm gonna watch it.
It's
I
good.
wouldn't be really surprised that if like magic was related to sound as well, because if you really think about it, like sirens exist. Like,
Exactly. It's a take on that. It's like old witch lore. There used to be lore about witches singing, and like that's another way that they did magic or whatever. Like if you remember Hocus Pocus, one of the things they
Mhm.
did when they were being hanged was sing. And then everybody was like, "Oh my God, cover your ears." And they cast I Put a Spell on You. That was a song spell thing. So it's like it's a known thing. So I like how they did this take on it. It's cute. It's cute. Watch it. If you like witches, watch it. Oh my God. How many times do I have to say, watch it?
I am.
what is it called? I'll watch it.
Motherland Fort Salem. It's so good.
No, watch it. Watch it.
And
And
there's
you
three
see,
witches, so it's very Charmed-esque. Like you follow the main three witches, and each of them has like a special, unique ability thing that they bring to the table. One of them is a black witch, so hello, beautiful. The other one is gay, hello, beautiful. Like, come on, so much representation, and it's beautiful.
that's a lot of
Mm.
representation.
And it's good representation. It's not trashy. It's not like corny or forced or whatever. It's like, yeah, no, of course these badass women are who they are. Like, yeah.
That's a blessing.
A basketball wife is on Motherland. A basketball wife?
A basketball wife.
Who? Actually, I don't know. I don't really care.
No, yeah.
I don't. I'm sorry. Let me just be
You know,
honest with
you
you.
gotta be nice to people sometimes. Sometimes.
No, 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 I
Jeffrey.
know. I'm just like, I actually don't really care. So, like, I don't know why I asked the question. Like, it was an insincere question.
Hmm.
The drill instructor lady. Anacostia?
Mm.
Interesting.
Hmm.
But I'm gonna be honest with you, like magic wise, like shows that I've watched, I've seen The Good Witch. The Good Witch, it could have been better, but it was nice. It was wholesome. Let me say that. It was
But yeah, The
wholesome. I'm
Good
gonna say
Witch
that.
was a hard watch for me.
Yeah, it was just like, really? Now, stuff like Ghost Whisperer, Supernatural, Lucifer, stuff like that, yeah. I can get down with stuff.
Supernatural, I stopped after like season 8 or something. It was too much. It suffered from the longevity of itself. Like it was too. They didn't know what to do anymore.
That's why I believe that's why I got canceled, because I'm like, yeah, I'm like, after this season, after season 14, they're done. I'm like, I got a feeling. And then I go back to see if they, ooh, look at that, they're canceled. Uh-oh.
Oh my God, Galen's struggling to keep his eyes open.
I'm awake. I'm listening. I'm listening.
Oh
I'm
my God.
listening.
You're
You just
listening like when a
rocking
kid is
back
telling a
and
story. You're just
forth.
like,
I'm listening. I'm
we
here.
are not a lullaby. We want to be heard.
Oh, well, they can hear you.
Have you seen somebody mentioned Witches of East End. Have y'all seen that?
No.
I have. I watched it, but it was years ago, actually. And here's another little tidbit of information for you. I've been invited to be a guest on a podcast next year. And so more
Yay!
information as it
Ooh.
comes. And Witches of East End is actually going to be a show that we are going to review. So,
Cute.
mm,
Congrats. I mean, I orchestrated that with my connections. It was another gift, of charity from me to you. But I don't, again, I don't want credit for, I don't like attention, guys. Stop, please.
well, you're not going to get it. So I'm very excited about the opportunity.
Wait, whose
And
podcast, or can you say?
hmm,
Can you say whose podcast, or is it like a surprise?
so there's like a team of people.
Mm,
I forget his name on here because on Twitter it's
worst
like
plug ever.
I am the word, like I forget people's names. I
I'm
know
working with
who
them. I
it
don't know them
is,
though.
but I can't recall their thing. So I'm sorry, but there's gonna be like 3 or 4 people involved, and so I listen.
Cute.
Oh my God, excuse me. Oh, that was so rude,
Ooh.
disgusting.
Giving Wendy.
Baby, between you blowing your nose and Zay getting cussed out, y'all can't say nothing about me. But anyway,
Oh
my thing is,
my gosh.
I'm very excited to share share that podcast with y'all as it starts. Um, so just stay tuned, and I'm gonna be providing more information in the Discord and on Patreon. So if you don't
Oh
follow
my
me,
God.
then go to both of those. Follow
I
me in
gotta
the
go to
Discord.
Discord. My God. The homework.
And if you are on Patreon, I am going to be starting a very a small tier of $1. If
Cute.
you want to pledge $1 a month to a baroque.
Okay, demand. Okay, supply and demand.
Ooh.
It's giving very that. It's
Cute.
giving very that. And next year, I don't know if I told y'all. I think I did. Well, probably not Jeffrey because he doesn't, like look at the Discord. But um next year, a good chunk of the cast of Wicked City they agreed to be on my podcast.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I need to watch
Yes.
that.
The guests that I have confirmed so far, Chanel, who plays Charisse, Chantal, who plays Angela, India, who plays Darlitra. I'm still waiting to hear back from Shaquita, that plays Jordan. Mercedes has agreed to it, who plays Mona.
Cute.
Malika Blessing, who plays Caden. Um, Maurice P. Carey, who played a version of the Handler. So, we got a good lineup. And then the writers of the television program have agreed to be on the
Ooh.
podcast. So the writers will
Ooh.
actually be there. So I am very excited to share that with y'all.
Look
That
at
is so
you.
cute. Yes.
I'm a celebrity.
Honestly, having a podcast with also the Charmed writers would be amazing. Like, what were you thinking when you wrote this? Let's talk about
I
it.
feel like I would end up cussing those people out.
And it would be great content.
It would be
Can you
amazing.
It
imagine?
would.
Charmed
It
fan
would be like
cusses out
every
writers.
episode
Oh
would
my
be like a
God.
3-part
The
episode.
views.
Like every single episode would be a 3-part episode. It would be like
Right.
just me cussing these people out. And and I am, so me and my friends, we have a Charmed podcast called the Nexus Podcast. You can follow us on
Interesting name.
TikTok at nexus.podcast. You can also find us on Instagram and Twitter. Anyway, I'm trying
No,
to,
cute. Cute plugs.
baby, I'm trying. Listen, let me tell you something. I am not good at plugging stuff, and I'm gonna tell you why. Let me be 100% honest with you. Why I feel like I've had such trouble.
Finally, honesty. He lies all the time. Okay, try.
Are you done?
I
Okay, thank you. Um, so the reason I have such an issue with like plugging and promoting and things like that, I genuinely feel like nobody wants to hear what I have to say. And I know that that doesn't make sense because I know people tune into this and I know people watch the videos and things like that. But there is something like in my spirit that will be like, if you post this, people are gonna laugh, or they're gonna be like, I'm not watching it. And I think I get discouraged sometimes because it'll be like, you know, I'll post something and then it'll be like 10 people watched it or listened to it. If it's not Charmed related, or even if it is, depending on what it is, it's like crickets. And I think I was getting caught up in that for a long time.
yeah.
But now I'm kind of like, okay. Oh, thank you, Andreas. I have been ignoring Andreas tonight, but I don't know. I feel like we're not. I feel like we broke up, and I don't know why, but I feel like we broke up for some reason. I feel like
Ooh,
he
Wait,
cheated
you
on me.
got a boyfriend? When did that happen?
when did this happen?
The one here in the comments, he be. I feel like he been cheating on me. I don't know why.
Already?
No, y'all are cute together.
Oh
So
my God. No one is loyal these days.
no one, but he did. But the thing is, he didn't. But I just feel like I don't know. I feel like he don't love
I've
me no
been
more.
here the whole live. Oh, he's been
Ooh,
watching you the whole live.
The whole
So,
life
what do you got to say about that?
he has,
he's
he
your
has,
biggest fan.
he has. He's been here the whole time.
Oh, his
I
loyalty
just
has and always will be here.
Ooh.
I feel like I hear a proposal coming. Is that wedding bells? My gosh.
wedding bells, the bells before Daenerys burns down King's Landing, whichever one.
What type of cake y'all gonna have at y'all wedding?
Huh?
What type of cake you gonna have at y'all wedding?
Probably chocolate.
Cute.
Yes, yes.
Probably chocolate. Is that a baby?
It's
Is
my
that a
cat,
baby or a
who is
cat?
basically a baby. He's a baby.
Oh,
Yes, it is Mr. Kitty.
child. Thank you, Stephen, for the lightning. Um,
But I was gonna say
no,
too
but
what you were
yeah.
saying
So,
before about
mhm,
like posting your own stuff. I feel
mhm,
like one, you also just have to realize like for TikTok especially, like when people are on the app, they don't want to leave the app. Like that's a whole thing in and of itself in
mhm.
like marketing. How do we get somebody to leave this app to go to our thing, to go to our page outside of TikTok, right? So like
Yeah,
that's just a whole other beast that you have to slay and like make it even more enticing for people to leave the app. And even then sometimes like if I'm watching a TikTok, like I might not want to go to another app, even if I'm super interested in another thing that I see or whatever. Like it could be something to buy, it could be just like another
mhm,
like a YouTube channel or something like that. I'm not always inclined to do that because I'm already in TikTok mode. So I
yeah,
think if you like
Uh,
give yourself some grace with that, it's
yeah.
also you can see why the numbers are the way they are. And that's why a lot of people end up posting so many clips of their podcasts on TikTok. 'Cause it's like, okay, I know you're not gonna watch it, but if I give you enough content and then I say, hey, there's more content that you're missing
they're gonna push it
on
through
that,
though.
yeah, they're gonna go. Yeah, they're gonna okay, I haven't been fed. I only got a little taste. I want more. So I feel
Hmm.
like just give
And then
yourself
they
some grace
gonna
with
hop
that
on
and
your
learn how to
page.
promote yourself. Yeah.
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 Give them a little nibble, but don't let them have the full meal. Snatch it back.
It's
Yeah, I don't think
like,
it's enough to plug. Maybe it's like here, here's
yeah.
something.
I need to learn how to do that. Because I'm horrible at it. And then I think the other part of it is that even though I love it, it's one of those things where I think I'm still probably more insecure than I think about stuff, and I'm like, ain't nobody
Mm.
gonna listen to this. Nobody's gonna want to listen to this. So why even say something about it, you know? And that's what I'm struggling with now is just kind of being more. vocal about what I have going on and about, you know, whatever else. But because I know if I don't say something about it, nobody's gonna know it's there. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's a hard medium because like the video I made another Wicked City video that's actually coming out tomorrow on YouTube.
Cute.
I'm so proud of the intro that I made to it because
Cute.
I am learning how to edit stuff and learning what works for me and how I like things to look. And I'm so proud of it. And I think I'm just gonna post like the intro on here or something tomorrow. But
Yes,
it's
do
just
that.
so cute to me. It is just so cute. And I feel like
Ooh.
I feel like I did a good job editing wise. I feel good about what I said in it. Another reason I'm kind of nervous to post it is I'm still in this weird phase with Wicked City where it's like the show is kind of on the smaller side. And so um
Mm.
because of that, you know, a lot like they listen to pretty much everything that I post because you know, I'm kind of anyway. And so they listen to a lot of it and I think part of me doesn't want to be like harsh on it or critique it the same way I would Charmed because number one, I have that level of disassociation with it with Charmed. So I know that as a general rule, these three ladies and Shannon, they're not listening to me. So there's that, and I feel like I can be more like honest with the opinion. Whereas I found myself kind of trying to be like, oh, I love this. But then in this video, what I like about part two of this one is that I'm serious when I say like I didn't go in the way I do with Charmed, but I was like, I
Mhm.
don't care for this. Or they could have done this, you know. And I'm proud of the fact that I'm starting to be comfortable enough to be honest with it because it's one I didn't ever want to talk about it too because I feel like it didn't get a fair shake and people were always, you know, like, oh, the acting, the wigs, the this, the that, and so I didn't want to be one of those people. I wanted to bring positivity to it. Um,
Yeah.
but now that they're on season two, hopefully completed season two, hopefully going into season three, I feel like now, okay, it's okay. We're ramping this up. It's time to maybe talk about some things that we need to change, some things that's not
Yeah.
working.
I
And
mean, you can, it's like charm, like you can acknowledge the writers' like inconsistencies or whatever
mhm,
without making that the whole topic, because then you're never going to talk about the show. You're just going to be like, okay, there's 10,000 inconsistencies, let's name them all,
mhm,
whatever. I feel
mhm,
like it's the same thing for Wicked City. Like, I think I've seen some clips of it. It looks like a little bit lower budget, like on the lower budget end or whatever. That's fine. Not every show's gonna have a huge budget until maybe they grow in popularity and they're like, hey, let's give you like $1 million for this season or something. I don't know what the cost of
Yeah,
it
I'm ready to
was.
yeah.
say because Charm didn't start off with because they was
Hold
fighting
on.
for it.
Let me say something real quick because I want to tell Andreas thank you because truly he did tell me earlier that he would be in the live. I promise you I was not like being neglectful on purpose. Like
Oh,
I promise you sometimes I get caught up and then I don't know if y'all can tell. I am very tired.
what?
Like
No.
I was holding it together for a good long time, but then I'm just like I can't do
Your
this anymore.
eyes are starting to go lazy.
Yeah,
I
oh,
can tell. Yeah, you getting real tired.
Oh my God.
not lazy. Wow. Um,
They're
goodness.
starting to clock out. They're ready to, take a vacation,
Yeah.
clock out for the day.
But I apologize to him because
Oh, he says you never have to apologize though. Stop apologizing.
Oh my God.
I feel
Oh.
like y'all are having a private conversation. Maybe we should not read the comment. I'm not gonna read the comments anymore. This feels private.
well, and even though he's just my TikTok comment bay when we go live, I appreciate him. I really do for even playing because he doesn't have to play along with that. He could very easily just be like, "Don't bring my name up and don't say my name."
Oh,
Um, I get sad sometimes because I'm like, I want a real babe to be like, I'm in
Just
here.
to hold
I'm just here
you
to support.
tight.
Like I'm here. Anyway, that's a whole other story. I don't even know if I
oh.
started talking about that. Um,
It's because when you're tired, you start revealing like inner truths. Like I used to tell my ex this all the time, like, oh my God, being up super late is like being drunk. It's like the equivalent. Like you
Mm-hmm.
just start to like let go of things that you wouldn't even think of. So it's
Mm-hmm.
actually cathartic. You should do it more.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. I
Mm.
guess I don't know. Sometimes I'll be like when I took my picture the other day when I got my
Oh,
haircut, I
yay.
was like, it would have been so nice to have like a boo to be like, look at my pictures, and he'd be like, oh my God, like something, but I don't have them, and so I got sad then too. So,
Oh, I feel that. I will say I started working with a trainer earlier this year, and one thing he told me, like, to do periodically as we're training is like just take pictures of yourself. Like go in front of the mirror, take naked pictures of yourself, and like learn to appreciate your body.
mhm,
Um, and ever since then, like I mean, obviously full disclosure, I have a boyfriend, a partner of 5 years, so like it's not the same thing.
mhm,
But I don't always send him pictures that I take of myself. Like the pictures are for me too. Like I just want to know that I look good and feel good about looking good or whatever. So I think just do that for yourself. And if you are the only one that appreciates your picture, it's not a bad thing. It's also not a bad thing to crave somebody, obviously.
yeah,
But like loving yourself really is the first step in like being able to have a relationship, because
mhm,
insecurity is like a huge, huge relationship killer.
that is
You
true.
cannot like bring your partner to like carry that for you. Like obviously some
Mhm,
insecurities are valid, but like you have to
mhm,
be secure in yourself in order to be in a relationship. And
that's
you'll be
true.
fine. Once you like listen, once you know that you're hot, everyone else is gonna know it too. But if you're like
It's not
continuously
a
telling
problem.
yourself like, okay, this, that, and the third, everyone's gonna be like, oh, okay, maybe I'll see you that way now that you describe yourself that way. But if you're just like, I'm fine, shit, look at me, I look good in this, I look good in that, they're gonna be like, yeah, you do, I agree. But
Mhm.
you have to own it,
Yeah, I
and you're doing it by posting your selfies. Like that's a good step.
yeah. It just gets tiring being the friend, the handsome friend. Like, oh, you're so handsome. You're such a catch. Well, baby, obviously not. And it's a compliment. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's like I don't think unless you've experienced that, like how tiring it is for people to be
Mm.
like, you're such a catch. You can do it. Don't worry about it. Oh, you're so handsome.
Like, it's like, what do you mean? Because,
Mhm.
like, honestly, that's why I don't deal with men. Because I like them, don't mean I gotta deal with them. It's like, it's like
Literally
I've had
every
so many men say
everybody.
that to me. Like, like, my gaydar is off, so like I've had so many straight men was just like I've been turned down a couple times, but not a lot. But it's like you said earlier, like if you're not secure with yourself, the insecurities take down the relationship. Like I know personally, like I've seen, because like me personally, like you said, if you want to call yourself ugly, then that's what you are, I guess. I'm not going to correct you. If you want to be ugly, you're ugly, but I can't just, and then you just got to distance yourself from that. You just can't like, you can't come into something thinking like you're going to be fully ready if you don't even love yourself, because self-love comes first. If you can't take care of yourself, why are you here?
But I will say it's not even like, if you call yourself something, I'm gonna like believe that. It's like, how can I even like all my compliments to you, oh my God, you're beautiful, oh my God, I love you, oh my God, this or whatever, are just gonna fall flat because you're immediately deflecting them. It's like it harms even the relationship because you're not even allowing somebody to love you fully and authentically the way they want to love you. And you're basically stopping that in its tracks and you're saying, nope, I don't feel worthy, therefore I'm not going to receive whatever you're trying to give. And love is about giving and receiving. Like if you are with a truly selfless partner, a partner who considers you, they want to give you as much love as they're taking from you. They're not just going to be there, sitting and bathing in your compliments. They want to bathe you in compliments too, ideally. When did this get so preachy? My gosh. I think it was Zane who started it.
Yes. Did I? I can't remember. Did I? I might have. But
I'm just teasing.
sometimes you got a point, because sometimes I'll be feeling like I'm gonna die old and alone by myself and nobody. And it's just like I see all these other gay people and they're like, oh, y'all booed up. Well, how do you do it? Because it's like, this is not a TV show. How did you do it? Because it's like where I'm at, it's just like the men are not it. I don't
I
understand.
mean,
It's
to
like
be
I'm not the
fair, I think
problem.
location is a huge factor. Like where you live, like the gay population, the bi population in your area is probably a huge factor more than you realize. Because I grew up in New York City, Harlem. So like
Ooh,
I open up Grindr, 10,000 people around me. So like even if you're not one person's type, you're somebody's type in the neighborhood because trust me, there's all types of bodies and everything. And then obviously there's the standards in the gay community. We can talk about that. But there is
because
also
the
something to be
fat
said about,
shaming is very
yeah.
toxic in Grinder. Like I went on Grinder and like now I went from because I used to be 260. Now I'm about 200. I keep flexing between 205 and 210, and it's like I still look fat. I still feel fat, and it's like it's because of stuff like Grinder. Like I'll open it and like it just be like, well, you're big. You're not my type. Like I don't care about the comments, but it's just like they slowly eat at you one by one. Every one of them you get, they just hit you slowly, and it's just like, what the fuck am I doing wrong?
Yeah, Grindr is tricky because I have definitely in the past used it when I'm feeling insecure as like an ego boost. Like, let me go there, get some compliments, and like shut it down for the
Yes.
day. But it's dangerous in what you said. It can have the complete opposite effect. Like, you go on there and then you're just ridiculed for no reason. And it's just the weirdest things because people go out of their way to message you nasty shit. Like, they're just like, oh, you seem to be happy here even though you're not supposed to be. Let me ruin your day for no reason. But again, I think that's where like having to build self-confidence, whether it's on it, outside of the app, whatever, is so important because you need to be able to have like, like your own armor for yourself. Like somebody now tells me I'm ugly, I'm like, oh, honey, I'm so sorry that you see it that way because that's not true. Like that's just not my truth. I'm never gonna accept that as my truth. Like I may not be your type, and that's fine because I don't like everybody that I see, so that's fine, but you will never convince me that I'm ugly at this point, at this stage in my life where I'm at, like mentally. So I think you need to get to that point where, and I'm not saying you specifically, I'm just saying anybody, they need to get to that point where you're like, okay, somebody could say anything and everything to me. That doesn't make it my truth. Like that just seems like it's a them problem. Like projecting, trying to make me feel bad for whatever reason, that's them.
Are you okay? You look like you got a lot on your mind.
I'm just
Yeah, what are
listening.
you thinking? Share.
Um, I'm just listening.
But I'm gonna be honest with you, like insecurity sometimes they on top of mental health disorders, they will take you down. Like like you can be the most happiest person in the world, but once you have those insecurities and then like on top of that with your mental health and you're not taking care of your mental health, it's like that. Like say if you're bipolar, so then the depression hits you, then now your insecurities are hitting you. Now you're just like it feels like you're at rock bottom and life just feels very shitty. And it's like this emptiness in your chest and it's like a pit of despair. And it's just like the worst feeling in the world that you just want to get rid of. But it's like, I don't know what the problem is. It's just like, it's very like, I don't know how to explain it. Just like it's there and it hurts. It's very like, I'm describing it from my personal feeling. That's exactly
Hmm.
what it feels like. It is very shitty. It is very like, it is very, it's not misleading. Some people be like, well, oh, you're faking it. No, it's just like, it hits you randomly. It's not just you because because most people would tell you if they were bipolar or schizophrenic or something, they would pick being normal in a heartbeat. People don't want to see stuff. Not everybody wants to like be like that because that stuff it's not for everybody, and it feels like it's not for me, but it is me a little bit. So it's like I can't really say I don't relate to anybody because I really do. It just it's just your insecurities and then your mental health. You can't let those go down at all. You have to keep them perfectly elevated high up because if you don't, it can end catastrophically for you and anyone that is around you, lives in your household. It just tends to turn into a shit show.
Mm. And I will say, like, let's just speak very candidly. You as a black man, me, I'm Dominican. I don't know what you are, Zay. I won't
I'm black.
assume, but okay. As men of color, we also have to think about how much of our insecurities are derived from upholding Eurocentric beauty standards. Like, would you actually be called ugly in another if your community uplifted you and you didn't have Eurocentric standards, like, just over your head all the time? Because tons of cultures like different bodies, like different colors. So
Definitely.
it's just our white supremacist society that's like, okay, you have to be skinny, hairless, muscular, whatever, that says you're beautiful. So I think that's also another layer. Like, don't just accept that you are X, Y, and Z. Think about, wait, who said that I'm that? Who said that I'm ugly? Who said that I'm too big? Who said that I'm this or whatever? Like, it's not your people that love you. It's people that said that to your ancestors, said that to our ancestors, said that to people who they brought here and convinced them that they were ugly while also fetishizing them. So please, let's not even
Exactly.
uphold that.
Cause what happened then is was pulling into now, and it's like I've had people like, oh well, I've literally like was texting someone like thinking they were cool, and like, well, they were like, no offense, but you're too dark, you're not light enough, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, huh? And then that stuff is just like, what do you mean? And then there's other people that are just like they like you, but they only want you for what you are and what you look like and what you
Mm.
can do for their fantasy to please them. And then after they're done getting whatever they want out of you, they treat you like absolute garbage. They don't respond to you. Like as I said, I know from personal experience, like it gets rough.
I just think you also have to be honest with yourself. And if I could tie it back to Charmed, have been like on this die-hard like Phoebe defense because like people come after her for like, being so boy crazy and like always wanting a husband or whatever. And I basically said like if you take the sisters as like different aspects of your personality, I feel like the reason people dislike Phoebe so much is because she's that part of ourselves that we don't like to, discuss. Like a lot of us are wanting and craving love and relationships and closeness and intimacy or whatever, and I feel like Phoebe represents the almost like a desperation feeling to it, where like you haven't had it and you want it. But I feel like one, it's okay to want that. Like, I think allowing yourself to be selfish and say, hey, I want that. What am I gonna do? How am I gonna achieve that or go for that? Um, is a good, healthy way of like addressing that. Because then if you're saying, okay, I want love, but what are the things that are stopping me from getting love or from getting the type of intimacy that I want? And if it's an insecurity, then that's step one. Okay, how do I tackle my insecurities? If it's two, like maybe it's just my location, like there's not a lot of people around me with similar interests or that I'm interested in, then you tackle that next, you know? Like it's a step-by-step thing. And just like we were saying earlier, like, you're not too old. You're not like done with your life just because you're in your 30s. You're not done with anything just because you're in your
Never.
30s. Love,
You're not
relationships,
done until you're
intimacy, whatever.
gone.
Literally. Like my grandmother, not to like throw her under the bus or whatever, but she's been in a few relationships or whatever post my grandfather. And I don't want her to be single just because she's old. I want her to be single because maybe that's better for her. Or I want her to find love. And if she finds love at, how old is she now? Like 62, good for her. Like there's no reason to stop
Mm,
or to think that you can't start at a certain age. Are we doing too much, Galen? We can stop.
Could you smile, please? Because like you frowned, and it's like you like your whole demeanor changed. It's like, are you okay?
Oh yeah, I'm just taking it in, just listening.
Because to be honest with you, I'm gonna be honest. Well, at first I kind of hated Phoebe because of exactly what he said. Because it was like, oh, like it hurt. Like it just like it didn't feel right. But then I realized it's like it's not me necessarily. And like I'm like, cause sometimes you just gotta move the scenery or change what you're in, if you know what I mean. Like just change the goal of where you're at pretty much.
And I feel like I can't say like I don't know what you're doing in terms of like, dating and putting yourself out there, so I won't presume or like make any guesses. But and you can share whatever you feel comfortable sharing, obviously. But I will say like you doing this podcast, putting yourself out there in this way, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't want to like give false hope or anything like that, but you putting yourself out there in this way already shows a level of confidence that makes you more attractive to people. Like you're putting your
Fact,
face out
you
there,
can
you're
get up
not,
here and put your face up here.
yeah. Like who knows? What if, future Bay is like on live, on Charmed, TikTok or whatever, and they see one of your videos? Because again, how I told you, like how did we even find you? Like how did I even find you? Me and my partner were watching TikTok together, and then we saw your page and we're like, oh my God, this is so funny. It's like content in our age group talking about Charmed, a black man, a man of color. Like we want to see that. Like it's just so many things aligned that was like a good watching experience for us. Like you will never know how that will affect somebody else and bring them into your life and into your circle. Because again, like I
Very.
told you, like my boyfriend and I, we bonded over charm. Like TMI, but we got each other a Charm Book of Shadows as a surprise gift for our 1 year anniversary. Corny as hell, I know, but that's what happened because we were both obsessed with Charmed. So like, of course, like you can definitely find that. Maybe not the exact same thing. That's my relationship. Don't take my stuff. Okay, thanks. But like, you can find your own version of that, and it'll be just as cute. Like like, what if you end up doing a podcast with somebody and then you guys find out, oh my God, wait, we kind of have feelings for each other. Like I feel like if anything, start fantasizing like that. Like think about all the ways you're gonna meet your future man and like use that as like a manifestation thing. Like, oh my God, maybe I'll meet him this way, I'll meet him that way or whatever. Like feel like a little kid when you're in love or like when you think about love, like how you used to watch it in the movies or whatever. Like feel that again, and I feel like you'll allow yourself one to be vulnerable and to accept, what's coming to you and what's for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm confuddled because it's like love is just like it's a two-way street, but like at the end of the day, to get love, it's like you gotta move things sometimes. Like sometimes you have to like say if like you're in a city where there aren't any like people that are like you, like there are no people that are lesbians or gay, so like you move cities, like it's not even necessarily you. Yeah, like you can't just stay in one place and expect a different outcome. That's the definition of insanity, actually. To do the same thing over and expect a different outcome. Like branch out.
And you are.
Yeah.
Also, we see you thirsting on them guys on Twitter.
Listen, the way I be cutting up, it needs to stop.
Like you
Because,
said a comment today, like, what is it? Until the skin comes off? I
Oh,
was, what does that mean?
honestly, I just be talking. It don't even it don't even mean nothing to me anymore. It's just me.
No,
ain't
but it's
nothing wrong with
cute.
sucking it like
It's
oxtails out
fun.
the bone.
Right.
Mm.
No, but it's fun. It's like it's a good energy and it's good to like crave and want and like show that you're there. You're interested. Oh,
Yeah.
Galen. Oh.
I'm good. I'm just listening,
We
just
can
taking it.
stop. We can stop.
Yeah, we definitely can.
We can call it a night. We don't have to keep going. I'm sorry, I tend to get preachy, so that's probably my fault.
No, you're fine. You are fine. I do think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it on up for the night. But thank y'all for that,
Of
and thank you
course.
for being here.
Oh, we love you,
Um,
Galen.
We definitely do love you.
I'm done.
but well, y'all have a good night, and I will
You too.
talk to y'all later.
Have a good New Year, everybody.
I know I might
Good
be on here.
night.
I may be on here tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. So
Okay.
If you are, cause trust me, I'll be up in here. I'm gonna turn on post notification.
Okay, y'all.
We'll see you
Good
then. Happy
night.
New Year. Bye, y'all.
Good
Bye.
night.